One. Welcome to the Am I the Jerk IRL show where you can submit your stories and we talk about them. Tonight, we're going to try and shoot this live, so if you guys want to see the next one live, make sure to turn on notifications. And you can always submit your stories to amithejerk.com/submit. If you would like to be on the show, like our guest here, then shoot us a message over on Instagram or Twitter, X, at Am I the Jerk. And if you make any shorts or TikToks from this episode, you're free to use them on your own pages, but of course, it'd be nice if you tagged us. And unlike on the previous episode where we try to go through a lot of stories really fast, this one we have a lot more conversation to have for some of these. And also, you are welcome to join the conversation via the chat. So jump in the chat, talk to us. You can even send your stories. If we have time, we might be able to read one or two there. But otherwise, go to amithejerk.com/submit. And lastly, if you would like to listen to the audio version of our show, follow us on Spotify or any podcast platform that you use. And with that, let's jump straight into the introduction of our guest. So everybody say hi to the guest, wave to the guest, hello. Let's start with our familiar pal, Jen, right here. So name, age, occupation, weird hobby, any combination, just a quick little run through of who you are.
Okay, Jen Garcia. You can follow me at Follow Jen Garcia on Instagram. What do I do for a living? Whatever I gotta do. When I'm not doing that, I am a writer and an actress. Hit me on Follow Jen Garcia to find out what movie I'm in, because that's what you're gonna ask. And that's about it.
Cool, and we'll save all the links and everything for the end. For now, let's just go name, age, occupation, weird hobby, and next up.
Sheena Reynolds, but it's also Sheena Ray. This is my injecting business. I'm also a facial injector and owner in a med spas in Texas. I'm also an author and an official TED speaker. And I also coach people, and I do a bunch of things. I speak, I do a lot of public speaking and a lot of podcasts, and I love it.
Yeah, and later at the end, I want to hear all about the TED Talk. That's pretty crazy. That's pretty cool.
Yes.
All right, next up.
Yeah.
Maritza, and I'm an office admin, and my hobby is hiking.
Cool. Next up.
Jen K, stand-up comic. You can follow me at Jen K Comedy, originally from Queens, New York, living in Las Vegas now.
Cool. And next up.
Hi, I'm Alexandra. I'm 23. I'm an esthetician, and my weird hobby, I like to collect pennies and separate them by their years.
Okay, cool. All right, so before we jump into our first submitted story, we're going to try and get any personal stories out of anyone here with the ghost story. So does anyone have a ghost story in your life or know somebody that has one? If you don't, just say no. We'll jump to the next person. But let's start with Alexandra.
I don't have a ghost story.
Jen K?
My mom told me about after my grandmother passed. So my grandmother trained her cats to give their paw. So she says that after my grandma died, the cat was on the bed, looked up, and gave his paw. I said maybe there was a fly. She says no, he looked up and put his paw in the air and tilted his head. Wow. So, hey, Grandma.
Next, do we have a ghost story?
Well, when I was young, around the time Rachel Ramirez was out, my mom was actually at the hospital giving birth to my little sister, and my siblings and I were in the apartment, and we were laying down by the closet, and all of a sudden the closet doors just opened and shut by themselves. Whoa. So we were all freaking out. We ran into the living room. We stayed there until my mom got back home, and kind of my ghost story. That's it. So we were paranoid.
How do you explain it? How do you explain it?
You know what? I don't know. It was weird because the closet had stairs, like almost like if you were going up to the attic, but the attic door was in the hallway. So I don't know if the house originally was brought from Arizona, so we don't know if something happened in the house. And
something's not explainable anyway.
Yeah, so my mom actually asked the owner of the property if something had happened in that house, and he's like, you know what? I don't know any history of the house, but something must have happened because everything was flipped around. So
yeah,
I don't know.
What about you, Sheena?
Oh my God, I tell you what, I started my life believing in nothing. I was an atheist, not believing in ghosts, nothing. But then I had a clinical death. And a lot of weird things start to happen. And when I say weird things, I mean really weird things. Like I dated a guy, and his mom died before I met him. and it was her pictures all over the walls and everything. And one day I went to take a nap in the afternoon, and his mom come to me in the dream. I'm not going to say the details and everything, but then I wake up from the dream. I go directly to the room that was closed, and nobody ever go to that room. And then I open the closet, and I see the earrings and the robe she was wearing in the dream. And after that, a bunch of things happen afterwards. Like, for example, I was an actress in my country, right? And I had a dream that it's not my life to live. Like, everything happened to me. Like, every clue I get in my life, I don't want you to think I'm cuckoo, but I swear to God, I don't believe it. I don't believe it myself. I swear to God, I don't believe it myself. But every time something happened, every time I need to make a decision, it's either the numbers or the dreams, or I see the numbers in the dreams. So I don't know if to believe it, but a lot of things in life are unexplainable. So, I mean, we're spiritual beings regardless. So,
Yeah.
It is what it is.
What about you, Jen?
Yes, I've ghosted many.
Okay.
Sorry.
You
Got
know.
him.
That's not nice, Jay.
That was good.
No, well, one time something was inexplicable. I was hanging out with my best friend, and we were watching TV in her room, and an empty glass. We had just finished drinking soda, and a glass exploded. And she looked at me, and I looked at her, and we were like, what the F was that? And we kind of like never spoke about it again. And every time I tell people, they're like, oh, well, maybe it was the temperature in the room. Or maybe it was the ice. I was like, no, the glass was there empty for a while. It wasn't like, when you put a cold glass in heat or vice versa. I'm like, the glass just exploded. We were sitting there watching TV, and we were both like, did you see that? Did you see
the frequency in the air.
that? Yeah, I hear that a lot.
Wow.
So that was it for me. It was weird.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
All right, so let's jump into the first story of the night. This one is,
I thought that was the first story.
well, the first of the submitted stories, none of the personal stories. So, story number one, we have a story where it says, I am a 33-year-old male. My wife is a 29-year-old female, and we started seeing another man, and he voted for Trump. This is driving me insane. My wife and I have been married for a few years, and throughout our marriage, we have always been monogamous. About 6 months ago, she mentioned the idea of bringing in another man to the relationship to spice things up. I hesitantly agreed. So we found a guy on Craigslist. It was actually pretty fun at first, liberating even. The three of us often had dinner together. We watched movies together, played games, etc. The sensual stuff stayed separate, although admittedly, I felt like I started getting less. That's outside the scope of this post, though. Fast forward to mid-November, I made a joke at the dinner table about how, finally, the Cheeto is about to be out of office. The new boyfriend, who's always been nice to me, told me to, quote, shut the F up, you little liberal pussy. I was taken aback by his sudden anger. He's much larger than me, so admittedly, I looked at my wife as a plea for help. She just continued eating, trying to act like nothing was going on. I did not know he was a Trump supporter. He even made a joke about Trump in the past, but proceeded to tell me that he voted for him. Long story short, after he had left for the night, I told my wife that we cannot associate with him for obvious reasons. This is where it got bad. She started defending him and told me that I was being disrespectful for not understanding that some other people have different political views. I kept insisting that he's a white supremacist and a racist, and that she said he wasn't.
Same story.
My wife has always been very liberal and anti-Trump, just like me, but now he's defending him, the Cheeto. I told her we were done if she doesn't stop seeing him. After a few days of fighting and her continuously saying that things would be fine, I packed up and I left, thinking that she'd finally comply. Now, I've driven past the house a few times, and his pickup truck is always parked there. In fact, I think he moved in. What do I do? My wife is leaving me for a Trump supporter. What do you guys think?
There's not much to do. If she left you, she left you.
No, he moved in. She didn't live in. He moved in.
Well, I mean, yeah, he moved in, but she basically left him because she doesn't want to, leave that guy to be with him. And honestly, if she was looking for someone to be with in the first place to add some spice, I think she was bored from the beginning. So why even chase something that obviously doesn't want you?
Yep.
Yeah. She probably likes Cheetos. I mean, you know.
Cheetos are good.
Yeah, you know,
I
you
like
get a little bit on your fingers, lick it off. So that's, but I mean, but I agree.
like the orange fingers.
Yeah. But I agree. If you're bringing in somebody, but you're bored, then just let her go. That's
There was
it.
already something wrong with
Right.
the marriage from the beginning. This is just kind of an excuse.
Exactly.
If you
Don't chase. Let them
If
go
you're
if they want
always
to go.
monogamous and all of a sudden you want to have someone else for spice, you're just bored and you don't want to be with that person.
Yeah.
And obviously, if she had the same views as him when she was with that guy, she was a liberal, and now she's choosing to change her views because of the guy that she wants to be with now.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like it's pretty spoken for.
Yeah, and this guy, I don't know if it's true, but they're saying the part that this was submitted with said that this is a guy who was known for a movement called, or part of a movement called White Dudes for Harris. Have you guys ever heard of this?
No.
I have.
Yeah.
I've
so
seen it.
God,
so
sounds
he so
horrible.
apparently that's why the betrayal felt so intense, because he thought that she was happy about that or whatever, and then she ended up
Yeah.
choosing the other guy.
But can I say something?
Of course, yeah.
So I think this story that you just said, it's so many stories like this, not the cheating part, but Trump, the same script about him. He's supremacist, he's Arabic. I'm just so tired of it. I was waiting and praying that he be elected. And that's the most important thing. And anybody who leaves somebody for somebody who supports Trump, obviously he's choosing the real man and not the simp and the soft
Yeah.
man.
Here we go.
I think
Here we go.
that's
It's early, but we're here.
I just think that there
I'm
was
proud
something already wrong in
Republican.
the relationship, to be honest with you.
What?
I think there was already something wrong in the relationship, and
course.
people just use excuses.
And not just
or-
that, what you said is
to
true.
it.
Sorry, but not just that. If he doesn't know if the guy moved in or not, it's like typical Democrat relationship. They don't know what's going on with each other. It's
Well-
half. It's his money, her money. Just a second. It's his money, her money. Half. Like everything has to be exactly by the book. The computer mentality. Both of them. They even have sex in a certain time. Tuesday we're gonna have great sex at 8:00. This is exactly the Los Angeles typical Democrat mentality, which I'm so over.
I see Jen right there, like
That's
Yeah.
crazy.
I think people gravitate towards people that they can relate to, right? So Trump is, a white supremacist. He does have a small penis, according to Stormy.
No,
Right?
no.
And so
Stormy got paid to say
maybe,
that.
I feel like
no,
It
she
might
got
be a
paid- she
Cheeto.
got
Stormy
paid
got
to-
paid to say that he doesn't have small penis. I know because I know his second wife.
I know, but
Let's use the
yeah,
term,
because
let's
he
use the
had
term
so
member.
True, not
Wait,
true.
what
No
about
P
the-
word.
Okay,
Member.
because he'd had so many wives, it's confusing. He had so many wives and so many children with different women. You get confused,
Okay,
right?
can
This
I
guy's
add
a
something
serial
to that? I have to add
husband.
something to
so
that.
you've seen his eggplant.
No,
You see
I
that
wish.
right?
I wish I did.
Wasn't there a statue? Wasn't there a statue that they had made of him, or was it something that came out like on Instagram or something, where
The only
he was
Republican,
standing
wow.
in the middle of some kind of plaza and he
Oh,
had like a
yeah,
little
yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
key, whatever?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I'm just saying.
That's why
Can
they
I-
call him
can I add
Cheeto.
something?
I feel like views are views, and I feel like political views don't come in the way of your romantic views. So whatever that he
course
chose
it
to
does.
believe in or whatever. I mean, if
It does.
if she didn't feel that spark with him, she didn't want to be with him, and whatever, like I said, views that other guy had, she decided to do that because she felt the spark with him and chose to go with his views as well. So it's like,
Maybe
Do-
he had
do
to
you-
Can
better
I
show.
add something to that?
Well, hold on, don't like.
Sorry.
Do you think that you could be with someone for your whole life if you had like politically completely opposite views?
no, personally, I
course not.
couldn't, but that's why I was saying that woman who she changed her views to be with someone else.
Hmm.
I personally couldn't be with someone that I had different views with because for me it's about morals, and if we don't have similar morals, how could I be with somebody like that?
That's
what I
meant.
Well said.
But I want to add something just for defense of Trump because I love him. I have to. Sorry, I didn't want to talk about politics, but you.
Trump, are
dragged
you
me
listening
into
to
it.
this?
Yes.
I hope so, Cheeto.
As she proceeds to talk about
I can't.
politics.
I said I'm not. But I
We
have
were
to.
supposed to talk about him, okay?
I have to defend him. Listen, I'm Israeli. I'm used to getting this shit. Sorry. I'm used to getting the backlash. We are the source of all evil. So I might as well talk about Trump. People are going to hate me regardless, so I don't care. But what I want to say is, first of all, if you know politics, like world politics, and I speak 5 languages, and I see all the politics from these countries that created all this chaos around the world, you know that Trump is the only person that actually can be the greatest president for America, and I tell you why. Because when you go outside of America, you have to deal with literally psychos, with people who are scary. And you have to be smart and a little bit intelligent and off in order to be strong enough to run this country.
So you think psychopathy is good for
Yes.
presidency?
We had Hillary
Wait,
as psychopathic.
pause. Sheena,
We
can you just tilt your mic a little lower because it's hard for us to hear
I'm
you.
short and I told you I need a booster.
Yeah,
You
we'll
didn't
get you a
wanna
booster
listen
next
to me.
time. But can you just angle it a little bit more?
Is that good like that? Oh my god!
Is that better?
So
Okay,
erotic.
that's better. There we go. You just got to talk straight into it because it's
I
hard
feel
to
like I'm standing in front of
There
a
you go.
basketball player. It's not good. I never did it. I'm just.
All right, sorry, Jen. You were saying something a second ago?
My neck is.
Yeah,
sore.
I didn't mean to.
Many
No,
member
she was-
talks
Okay.
over here. Like,
She
My
was
neck is
defending
sore.
Trump, although he won already, but she wants
Exactly.
to campaign.
Sorry, I know, but I love
Okay.
it. I think I need a little pillow or something because my neck is super sore from like being like this.
Hey, now.
You can twist it down.
Yeah,
There you go.
It's okay like that.
That's better, yeah.
Okay.
Okay, well, that was a good story, so let's jump into the next one. Next story.
That resolves your neck issues.
Next one's about Biden, right?
No. Next one is completely different. I told my stepsister I have feelings for her. She sent the text to our parents, and I'm basically kicked out of the family now. Where do I begin? I guess some background is necessary. My stepsister and I are both in our 40s. Our parents met and married when we were in our 20s. Both of us are attractive, and we are attracted to each other, but have never said anything to each other or acted on these feelings. Over the years, we've developed a healthy relationship, but there has always been a little bit of a sensual tension. We don't see each other very often, just family functions every few months. What should I do about my feelings for my stepsister?
I feel like men are very delusional, and if he felt that kind of sensual tension with her, it probably was just one-sided. Because if she sent the text to their parents, obviously she probably felt kind of like taken aback because why would my stepbrother say this to me? And like I said, men like to create things in their head, so it was probably just one-sided, and that's why she showed them. And yeah.
Wait a minute, women don't create things in their head.
but no,
women
she-
are worse than men.
No, but she's right, because if she would have been interested in him,
She
she
would
would
have.
have not sent it to the parents, and it
That
would
I
have been
agree.
kept
Yeah.
between them two, quote unquote. They're adults, they're 40. So why even show the parents? She showed the parents because apparently she felt
Uncomfortable.
uncomfortable and uneasy, and if they see each other in family gatherings and so forth, you're not going to want to be with somebody that's attracted to you in that way and looks at you that way and feel comfortable.
I want to add something to what you said. First of all, I agree with you. She wouldn't send the parents the text. But why to say all the men? It's like men would say all the women are like that. Women 100 times more delusional than men.
You can agree that men and women can also be delusional, but in this case, it's a man who's delusional, which is why I
It's
said
not
this
true.
man.
Women are emotional. Women got periods. Women get
no,
pregnant.
that's
we're
not
not
what
talking
we're
in
talking
general.
about.
We're
We're
not
talking
talking in
about-
general.
I'm talking in
about
general.
Well, we're
She's
talking
just
about
saying
the specific man in
specifics.
this story. So
Yeah.
you can speak general all you want, but we're talking specifically about this man in the story.
No,
And
but
in
you
this
said
story,
generally. You said all the men are
I
delusional.
said
That's not
generally
true.
men are usually
That's what I'm
delusional.
saying.
Just like I said, women can also.
So I
be generally
responded to
delusional.
that. Generally, not all men are delusional.
Well,
It's
that was-
exactly the opposite.
That was actually an
99% of them
episode.
are.
No.
That was actually an episode of the
I
Brady
think
Bunch.
women are the delusional one. not
Right? Greg and Marsha, they were texting, you know, like, they're like, don't tell mom. And Bobby was like, what are you talking about? And
I would lean more towards men are delusional because they never know what
No means
level
no,
they're
yeah.
on, right? It can be a guy on the corner who works at McDonald's flipping fries, which is, there's nothing wrong with that. You can't date me, but there's nothing wrong with that.
Right.
And he would see a woman, you know what I mean, hecha y derecha with all her
Yeah.
her car and her house and he still thinks I can get with that woman. I have something to offer.
Like you want a
That's
French
delusion.
fry?
But
Or if
You
you're
know?
That's a
polite, if you're
delusion.
polite, if you talk to somebody with respect and you're polite, then you give them their place, regardless of their status of where they work or so forth.
They think you want
Sh-
them.
Exactly.
Like,
Just because you do that, and if you are an attractive woman, they automatically think that you want them. No,
Yeah.
we don't want you. We
But-
are just
but-
educated and we are polite.
I know. You know how many
But
French
wait,
fries
can
they
I-
offer me when I go into McDonald's? I'm like, no.
I want to add something.
Like,
to
keep
that.
them nuggets.
Wait, one at a time. One at a time.
I
One at a
want to
time.
add something to
All right,
that.
go ahead, Shannon.
Women in general say all the time they're delusional this, that, but you have to remember when you look at the men in their 50s, men in the 50s were not acting like that. Women with this crazy. Wait, let me finish. I'm older than you, so trust me, I know more, and my opinion matters. Trust me. So what I'm trying to say is when I
Mine
say
doesn't.
that,
It's
and I'll
okay.
tell you why, because you're American, you all think the same. Nobody here is different than one another. All American, the same mentality. I'm telling you because I see women from all over the world and men from all over the world. Women destroy the men. Radical feminism destroy the men. Men scared from women in this country because women paralyze the men. You understand? If men had a little bit, if men wouldn't get paralyzed by women, the women literally destroy everything for the good women. Because what happened is, you see men as the ATM machine. You see men just something
No,
to
no,
utilize.
no.
Yes.
Okay, let me say one
This
thing.
is American
let me
Okay.
stop you.
Jump in. Go ahead. Go
Let me
ahead.
stop you there 1 minute, okay? I completely disagree with you, and I'll tell you why.
okay.
I am not born in the United States. I'm from Mexico, from Jalisco, from Guadalajara. Okay,
Guadalajara.
I was raised to be
That's funny. It's
No, I love
independent
it.
and
I love
productive
it.
with myself. I'm with the man because I want to be with the man, not because I need anything from him.
No,
So,
that's I
and the
believe
point
that
of you
too.
saying that we look at men like ATM, you have to
I'm
speak
not-
for yourself. Don't
li-
speak for me because
Listen,
that's not
but
true.
wait,
You're
wait,
trying
wait.
to speak
You
to
mix
all
it.
American
Wait a second. Wait a
No,
second.
no, you
If
did
you're-
say that.
Wait
If
a
you're
second,
American-
but
if
you
you're
gang.
saying
Wait,
that-
you daughter and mother, and
you're
you're ganging
a-
up on me. I want to answer to your mother.
All right, one at a time.
No,
One
no,
at a
but I
time.
want to answer to your mother because she was talking to me, so let me respond. First of all, Mexican woman, I don't consider you American. Not in a disrespectful
And I'm not.
respectable way.
And believe me,
You-
I'm not, I
I-
never claimed that I'm
Wait,
American.
I'm not consider you as an American because I work in Mexico at least once every 2 months.
Mm-hmm.
Mexican women are very similar to me. So I know you don't need a man, you choose a man. I'm exactly the same. But the typical average American woman, unfortunately, it's not like us. You're a hardworking person. Even if your man lose your money, would still stick into for him, right or wrong?
But if you're Israeli, why are you talking for American women if you yourself are not American? And
Because
there's
it's annoying me.
But there's many men from Israel, from different countries, who portray themselves as ATMs for American girls that are young.
Of course.
like
And they're
sugar
all
daddies.
over.
That's the
So-
problem.
No,
That's
but
the
for you to sit here
That's
and say
the
all
problem.
That, it's kind of you're like contradicting yourself
Listen.
if you're going to agree
So
with
you know
that.
what? I
That's
just
why-
want to
that's-
jump. I have something to say.
Okay.
As an American chick,
She's American.
I am taking just the men. It's not my fault. I am married
She's
to
not
a chick.
Exactly.
So it is not my fault. So all you men
not an
listening,
example.
I am
She's
not
married to
out
a
here for
woman.
your money. I am.
But you know what? I understand. But you know what? I understand your point of view because nowadays younger women. I'm not saying
that's what I'm
every
talking
woman.
about. Yeah.
I'm not saying every woman because my daughter's 23 and she's very independent. She's an extremely hardworking person and she's single. She doesn't depend on any man. But in general, if you do see Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook, you do see a lot of men that are older men that give these young women these luxury lives. And yes, do these women take advantage of it? Absolutely, because
They both take advantage of it.
if you're giving them handfuls, why not take it? Right? Because these men basically they want to be with these young women, they want to flaunt these young women, and these women have all kinds of plastic surgery, cosmetic surgery, and they look amazing and they take them everywhere. I mean, look, there's even videos from Dubai where the women are all covered up, but they're taking them to these malls and they have like all these Gucci purses and everything. So yes, absolutely. It goes both ways. There is men that's what they do. They want to take these young girls and give them all this money and everything and in return.
But it was not my point. That's not what I
So
meant. That's not
before
my
we get too far off from the story,
Sorry.
any advice for the guy who wants to tell his stepsister this whole feeling for his stepsister? Would you have any advice for him? I heard what Alexander said. What about the rest of you guys?
He has to move on. I think he has to move on.
Yeah, that's-
there-
Just move on. Just forget about
move on.
it.
He's on a planet of billions of women, and sometimes it's just familiarity.
Yeah.
Where it's just like I've been around you a lot, and I'm kind of digging you. He needs to like go touch grass, as they say. Get away from the family, and they're in their 40s.
Right.
So it seems
he
a
needs
bit.
to move on.
Yeah,
isn't
you
that
gotta
supposed to
move on.
like when you grow up together? Isn't that supposed to be the opposite? Like, isn't it supposed to push you away from?
Wait,
that?
they grew up together, or they just like?
Oh no,
they
no,
did-
they didn't.
In
That's
their
right.
20s.
Because that would be
Yeah,
even
never
more
mind.
weird if they grew up
Yeah,
together.
never mind,
like,
But I mean, but they grew up together from
Since
when
the
they were
20s.
21 and
20s,
oh
yeah.
yeah, don't stop. Go.
Maybe he
stop.
liked her
Yeah.
for 20 years and she didn't
Yeah,
know
yeah,
that.
just
I think it's all. I think
Move
it's
on.
one-sided. He needs to move on.
yeah, that's just nasty.
Sorry, but
I think he needs to. I think he needs
he
to
needs to
ask
close that
her.
book and start a new
Yeah.
chapter. Yeah, he needs to move on.
I think.
Alright.
I mean, if it was me and I was the guy, I would ask her at least for not to live with that feeling that I missed something. But I think she's not into him, though. You know.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
because
But
she
at least to
obviously-
ask her, you know.
So let's jump into the next one. Before we do the next one, Alexander, if you could talk a little closer to the mic, just so it picks up a little easier. Thank you. Next one is a very strange story. So we'll do one at a time on this because I got to hear you guys' thoughts on this. I don't even say this one. The girl I've been seeing gave me a racist rant video as a birthday gift. The girl I've been seeing sent me a video of her saying a bunch of comically racist things and said, now you have the power to ruin my reputation if you sent this to people, and that's her only birthday gift to me. She says it's like proof of her love and trust for me as a form of vulnerability. She thinks it's funny, and I think a part of her is being serious about this. We're in Germany, so this has life-ruining potential. Lol. Some of the things she said are actually illegal. What should I do?
So this chick made a racist video as a birthday gift.
Yeah.
So so I'm just trying to get the facts here, right? So
Oh my
happy birthday, and she's saying if he doesn't share it, that's
No, she's
love?
saying like by me making this video, it's the ultimate form of trust. Like I trust you more than anyone because I'm making you a video that for any reason you could use against me.
I think
Wow,
that's kind of
that's-
insane.
That's
That's
weird
kind of-
blackmail.
That is a weird.
It's like reverse blackmail.
Yeah.
It's like here's the
Yeah, like I'm gonna do something to you one day.
But
Here
I
you go.
mean, I feel like that's kind of like a red flag for him too now, because if she's sending like stuff that she thinks that could ruin her, what would she do in a relationship with him? Like take secret videos or screenshots of messages like to try to ruin him if he has
That's scary.
that kind of blackmail towards her. You know what I mean? So it's
You think
like,
she's more likely to do that
I
because
mean,
of that?
I mean,
What do you
why
call
would
that
you
when
send a
you're-
video like that in the first place if you weren't like kind of like? I feel like she's not all there in the head to be
Yeah.
doing that.
Yeah.
I feel like it's,
Wait, let's no, pause. No side conversations, please.
Oh,
Because remember, it's
sorry.
audio. Yeah, the audio gets confusing. Sorry, go ahead, Alexandra.
No, yeah, I just think that that's kind of a little insane, and I think that it's kind of a red flag, and I don't think that he should
Yeah.
keep pursuing something with somebody who thinks that that's funny or that to send it as a birthday gift, and then that's
Would you be
their way of
flattered
love.
if your boyfriend gave you
No.
a video?
I would,
I
I
would
would probably
even
block
mention
him.
if one
One.
of them is a colored person. Like for example, if he's black and she's white and she did that racist thing, or the opposite, like they're both
Does it even
white.
say?
It doesn't
Just
say.
kidding,
The only
doesn't say.
context we have
Because
is
it sounds like one of them is a different color. That's why.
all we know is that they're from Germany. That's it.
What's
Oh my
that?
God.
What's that word when somebody likes being like mentally tortured and physically tortured? Like,
Not with an M, is it?
Oh, massive.
Oh, yeah.
I'm thinking like maybe that's her thing. It's like there's people that like being
That's true.
Yeah.
abused. You know, like
Exactly.
mentally and physically.
It's true. Some people
and
like to be
verbally
slaves.
abused. So
Blackmail.
hey, maybe that's her thing.
It's true
and
though.
maybe
She's
it's
right.
a
A lot
turn
of
on
people
for her.
like that.
To me, it's a turn on for her. She's a little
Exactly,
wacko,
yeah.
but hey,
I mean,
Just
everyone,
run away.
if that's what floats her boat, then so be it.
That's true. Everyone has their personal
Hey, I don't
preference.
know.
Yeah, she just needs to find a different body of water for that.
Yes.
That's all.
I mean, why would somebody even enjoy being racist to someone? I mean, it's so stupid.
So, what would you guys do if it was your dream guy, and
It was not my
this
dream guy
dream
when I
guy?
figured
Well, prior up to this point, he was your dream guy, and then he said, "Hey, I want to show you my life is in your hands. Here's this video
I
I,
would
made."
torture the hell out of him.
I'd
You would
probably
torture-
get
You
the
could
Torture.
leave.
Yeah.
That's,
You would just leave.
That's just
I'd
weird.
torture him.
I
I
don't
would,
know.
I would be too afraid of like being asleep at night and then this whack was
Yeah.
just looking at me thinking, what can I do for her to torture me tomorrow or something?
Yeah, that's.
Nah, I'm okay. I'm cool.
They're in Germany.
He did the racist joke, right?
She sent it to
She
him.
sent it to him.
Yeah.
So I would torture her. I would
Wait.
do something to annoy the hell out of her for what she did.
I would be terrified because I wasn't born in the United States. I was born in Mexico. So
Yeah.
he might call somebody on me. So you know what? Never mind.
You can always call the cartel. Hey,
Peace out,
if
buddy.
you got connections, you call the
No.
cartel.
However you say goodbye in German, it's goodbye. Like,
Okay, so I think it's too weird. I think it's too weird. I'd be afraid of the next gift, like what's Valentine's Day, slave play.
True.
Are you gonna
Oh my
introduce slave
God.
play on Valentine's Day? So I'd say
Yeah,
no,
no,
too
no.
weird. Even if he was the dream guy, too weird.
I get
Too
that.
weird.
yeah.
Too
Like,
weird.
here's my
all-
left arm. I love you.
I haven't
Oh
been
my
knocking
God.
on the door. No, never
I
mind.
mean, I would also kind of want to wonder, like, ask them, like, why? Like, would you think this is okay to send to somebody? Like, who raised you in a way? Like, who raised you? Who raised you?
Yeah.
Like, who taught you this was okay behavior?
Who graped you?
I don't know. Maybe that's kind of crazy. I
That
don't
you
know.
become so twisted mentally. Exactly.
I don't know.
Is there anything that? What would be the okay version? What's a way a guy could be like, here's all my vulnerability, but not like this. That would actually be good.
Maybe he just did it as a preview, and then he's gonna plan to give her like a really nice gift, or she sent it. or
She sent
maybe
it.
it
Yeah.
was just a preview to prank him, and then she actually wanted to give him a real gift. And
Yeah.
she just didn't have the patience, and she was jumping into conclusions.
Well, it sounded like he was expecting something else because he says the line that's all she gave me for my birthday.
He
He's
probably
still disappointed. You remind me something.
She was only racist, and that was it. Man.
But to her, she was giving him the world. I mean, I mean, she's giving him like the world, maybe to her, and he's like, "Is this all you gave me?"
I want to tell you something. I saw today in Victoria's Secret when they sell the panties with the big, how do you call it, butterfly that the girl put in the hair. They put it. So I asked the lady, "What is this panties?" She said, "It's for Christmas. If a lady want to give herself to her man." So I'm like, "Really?" She said, "Yeah. Some women give themselves to the men for the holidays, so they sell this specific outfit as a." It's so funny.
Ho, ho, ho.
Maybe he was waiting for
Merry
this one.
Christmas.
All right, let's jump into the next one right now. This next
I
one
don't know the right
is
words in English for that. You know what I mean? Yeah.
this next story is again a completely different direction. I paid a girl $7,000 every month to live with me and be my girlfriend. Our agreement just ended last week, and she wanted to go back to college, and it lasted for 5 months. But after countless post-activity clarities, they all just hit. I need to tell somebody at least, and most people I know in real life will mock me. This girl was an online friend who dropped out of college and wanted to get back on her feet. She kept making suggestions that she wanted to leave her family house but had no money, and she couldn't trust the Craigslist ads until she just straight up made me an offer. I think she knew that I had a crush on her, and I just couldn't say no. I was 29 years old. I had my V at the time, and I'm not going to bore you with the reoccurring themes of self-deprecation in this context, but I guess you get the gist. It was the first time I had the chance to get with a girl that I liked, and I make a lot of money, so I thought, why not? I'm not going to lie, I really did enjoy every second of it that I spent with her, but alas, all good things come to an end. We said our goodbyes last week, and I'm alone again. What do? I paid her over $35,000.
I guess it's time to get another
Loser.
No, hey, he paid for services rendered.
What's his number?
Yeah, right.
What's his number?
If I had $1
look,
every time that was offered to me, oh my God.
Listen,
But,
listen, fair exchange is no robbery. Some people like taking the middleman out. He wanted something, she was giving it, he paid for it. A lot of people say, oh, she's a gold digger, she just wants money. If he has the money to do it,
And he
then so
offers.
be it. I mean, some men buy cars.
Yep.
Some men buy homes. He wanted to buy a body. He wanted to buy a company. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that. Consenting adults, fair exchange is no robbery.
Agree.
Can I contradict that?
I mean, she agreed.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
Contradict.
I tell you why I think it's wrong, okay? Because when you have intercourse with someone, you exchange your spirit, you exchange your soul, your DNA, everything. And if you do it for a transactional thing, you literally corrupting yourself from the inside. So I don't believe in transactional sex. I don't believe in instant gratification sex, one night stands. This is for me a taboo.
Right, but on the outside, she was rich. So no.
Hey, $7,000.
So what if you were the girl in the situation? Would you be able to? And let's say you develop feelings for this guy eventually. Would you be able to date him, or would you always think like, well, this guy paid me $7,000 a month this whole time? It's
Honestly,
a strange foundation.
I think if you have a relationship like that from the beginning, you're so used to that relationship. It's basically they're gonna put money in your bank account. You're gonna go about your day, do your spending, and you're gonna still be with this person because that's what the relationship started for. That was the foundation that he built from the beginning. So
That's the norm.
And
Or if they're
actually-
both used to it.
yeah, this is a norm for them. So, I mean, he paid and she gave him what he wanted. So it's like. I
You
don't
said they
think-
were friends.
She
right?
was in her 20s.
Yeah, an online friends.
Oh, online friends.
Oh wait, there was the girl was an online friend who dropped out of college and wanted to get back on her feet.
Yeah, that's a little different. Online friend as opposed to.
But they were but they were together, right?
She ended up moving in with him because she was in her
Yeah.
family's house and she wanted to
So-
get
I
out.
wanted to ask you a question. She was in her early 20s, right?
It doesn't. Oh, he was 29. It doesn't say how old she is.
But I'm assuming
I
that they were
assume she
probably
was
around the
early
same age.
20s. So, if she know how to develop this transactional relationship in this age, she's obviously bad news because she's not supposed to be so trained in transactional relationship. Second thing, if he was a smart man, an alpha man, he wouldn't need to talk about it in order to do that kind of relationship. He could just have a casual conversation, like let's date, and not like make it like a, how do you say, like you do a contract or a business deal with someone. When you approach a girl as a business deal, no matter what you do after, she will always look at you as a business deal.
So you don't think he can recover from that position?
No, because she already see
Well, he
him as
doesn't-
she already see him as a dollar sign. That's it.
He doesn't have to recover. Men with that amount of money lead with their wallet. They're very black and white. I give you this, you give me that, you provide this.
Not
If
like
we're
that.
talking about millionaires, it sounds like he is one.
Yeah.
That is how they move. That's how they operate. They don't operate like the regular Joe. Trust me.
Isn't
They're
it like
very
50 cents a
transactional.
Completely not true.
They're very transactional.
They got a
Trust
movie
me.
about it. 50
It's
Shades of
50
Grey.
Shades of Grey.
Yes.
There's a contract.
Yes.
So it is what it is,
Do you think it's possible for that woman to fall truly in love with him with that type of foundation?
Yes.
Possibly.
I mean,
What
feelings.
happened?
You never
she
know.
can- you know
Or
how
is
I
it
feel about-
corrupted forever? Is it
You
corrupted?
know
She
how I
cannot
feel about-
really be in love with him, but she could think that she fell in love with him because what he gave her, especially if she didn't have a strong father and family with money and foundation for a few years. But when she wake up in her 40s and he's going to be an old man, then she's obviously either going to cheat on him or look for something else.
But that can happen with or without money. I don't like how when we're talking about money, there's always a she could leave, he could leave. Broke people leave each other.
Exactly.
Broke people cheat on each other.
Yep.
Right? So why not have a good time while you're in this
Yeah,
situation?
but you
I was gonna say,
justify
money-
Obviously, she's full of
girls,
money.
young girls to do that things, and it's not right.
No, it is right. Men should lead with their wallet, and women shouldn't stay just doing whatever for a guy and playing house and have nothing
No, I
invested.
agree
The
with
man
you.
is-
True.
Listen, I agree with you that men lead with his wallet because man is the provider, right? But the way it needs to happen, it's not like this because women are not like object that you just buy them with money. Women bring way more stuff to the table. Women is the portal of the universe. Women is bringing life to this world. We're not a tool that we're gonna sleep with a man for money because it's gonna make us sick from the inside in every
Okay, so I
single way.
disagree. You're adding a lot of whimsy to transaction. You're adding a lot of whimsy. Men in that bracket don't think like that. They don't think let's
Of
pair
course
bond.
they do.
No.
They do not.
Of course
no, they,
they
do
do.
not. No, they do not.
Listen, I have
They
a lot
don't.
of. I have a lot of.
They know
Wait,
women.
one at a time. One at a time.
They know women like the finer
not
things, and that's why they always lead with their wallet. When they have
But
money like
that's-
that, that's what they do. Especially with younger girls, that's why there's so many.
But they don't take them
daddies.
seriously.
But exactly. But
Men
but
that
they
have
don't
money.
want them. But they don't
But
want
listen
them
to me, it's not
seriously.
true.
But they don't want
It's
them
not
seriously.
true. Let me
if,
tell-
if there's
It's
an
not
older
true.
man, if there's an older man looking for a younger
No.
woman. It's not for him
No.
for her to take him seriously.
Let me
because
explain.
He knows because he
Wait,
knows.
let
But I'm
Let
explaining.
Alexandra finish.
I'm explaining. So, like I was saying, if an older man looks for a younger girl for just to have that kind of fun, he knows that he's going to be leading with this one because he knows that she wants the nicer things and
For a specific thing.
Exactly. But you can't sit there and say that it's always the girl's fault or this and that. No, men know
First,
what
I
they're
didn't
doing.
say it's the girl's fault.
Men know what they're doing, and if they're offering it, and it's obvious.
Can I answer you something? Because obviously you're young and you don't understand that.
I am young, and
I
that's
know,
that's exactly why I have the
I'm
good
not
stuff because
saying
I'm
that-
young and I know and I
I'm
have
not
friends
saying
and I
that in a
understand that. That's
derogatory-
exactly why.
Yeah, but I'm not saying it in a derogatory manner to say like, oh, you're young, you don't know. No, not like that. What I mean is that it's really sad to me to see a woman your age that this is what she's thinking, and I'll explain to you exactly why. Because yes, men lead with their money. Yes, men need to be a provider. But men have option. When men that have money and he can get her because he bought her a Chanel bag or her because he got her a car or rent or whatever it is, you're just 1 out of 100. For you, $1,000. 1 second. For you, $1,000, $5,000, $20,000. It's a lot of money because you don't have it.
Right,
For
because
for
they
them
lead with their money.
But wait a second. Let
That's
me finish.
it. You
Let me-
answered your own
let
question.
Me, no, it's not true. But if you come from a home, if you come from a home that you had money and money was not an issue to you, you would never think to go with an older man for money because you would
But
thrive.
that's why they never
Well,
target. They
it's
never.
not that-
men
You're,
with
you're,
men,
mixing,
they never.
you're mixing different.
I'm not
you're-
mixing.
No,
I'm
you're
not
mixing.
mixing.
Hold on.
Not
You're
mixing.
hold on. You're mixing different demographics. Of
Correct.
course, a wealthy girl, a trust fund baby, is not
I'm
going
not
to
talking
care
about trust
a
fund
man.
baby.
All right, let me finish. Though.
But
Let
I'm
me
not
fin-
talking
you,
about
You
that.
have to let people finish, dude.
Let Jen finish.
Like, let people finish. You're mixing demographics. Wealthy men, when they want young, beautiful women, no one's thinking whimsy and pair bonding and your spirit and what women are more than just their body. You're mixing different demographics. Fair exchange is no robbery. He wants a woman who's attractive, who's going to be on his arm. He's going to lace her with all kinds of expensive things. She likes being there and getting expensive things. Two people are getting exactly what they want. It doesn't matter if she's 23 or 53. That is life.
course it
You're
matters.
talking. You're talking about the spiritual pair bonding of blah blah, and that's a dangerous slope for a young
No,
woman
it's
to get
dangerous.
into.
What you're saying is so dangerous.
It's dangerous for a young
This is
woman
a prostitute
to
mentality. What
No,
you're
it's
talking,
not.
it's completely prostitute
No,
mentality.
it's
I'm
not.
sorry.
No,
That's
it's not.
crazy.
No, it's not.
It's not
Men-
crazy. You guys never
No,
heard
no,
it because
women look
it is
for
that's why
provision.
that's your problem
It's
because
crazy.
you're surrounded
Wait,
by these
Sheena,
women
Sheena.
indoctrinating you to
Sheena.
think it's
Oh my
right.
God.
Sheena, you can go and say everything, but let Jen just finish her point. She's almost
I
done.
feel sad for
I
you.
think.
That this
I
is
feel
what-
sad for you. You're
Wait.
very close-minded and
Let's
very
pause.
small.
Pause. Jen is still speaking. Jen, finish. Everything you
No,
want to say.
I'll wrap with this. Women look for men for provision. It's provision, right? But then it's funny. It's the opposite of the feminazi. It's the like the pick me women, right? It's the pick me. It's like no, men are precious little things, and you can't want money from them. You can't want anything from them,
not what I said.
and that's not men. There are men that lead with their wallet, and men that don't. It's really simple.
It really is.
It's
But-
really simple.
I'm gonna be on, because I'm her mother, and you just said that she's surrounded by women like this. Again, that
gotta
is
watch
not,
what you're
again, that is
saying.
not true. She's educated. She has gone to college. Again, she works hard. She has her own money. She's not with older men. What she was trying to tell you is that she has friends that do this. And again, do I think that you're right? Yes, I feel like sometimes when you meet somebody, you should, respect yourself and start a relationship right and build a good foundation and so forth. But there's different women. There's women that come from educated homes that have a degree that, you know what, they don't want to work. They don't want to do anything. And there's a man that crosses their path that has money. Who cares? They're going to do it. It's any type of woman. It doesn't matter if you're educated
It's
or
not any
uneducated.
type of woman. It's not only in America. It's any type of
Listen,
woman.
money
Apparently.
speaks, okay? Money
But in
speaks.
New York, it's America. Now you guys are like, where's my American flag?
You tell me,
Like,
you
Where's the
tell me
Statue of
what
Liberty
woman- You tell me if money doesn't speak. Money speaks.
Money speaks.
has
Of
power.
course, money speaks.
Okay,
It's
let's
not my issue. It's not my
let's move on to the next one. Sheena, do you have a closing thought on this before we jump on to the next one?
Yes.
Okay, say your closing thought, and then we'll move on to the next one. Okay.
Okay, basically what I'm trying to tell you is specifically because we had that.
Specifically me.
Because why are you thinking I'm saying something
You
bad?
just said it. You just said
Because specifically to you because you're young and it's important if you're young and educated.
I'm very
and you have,
educated.
Wait a
I
second.
don't-
If you say you have a good mother behind you, so it's important to me that you hear it. You have a good mother behind you and she's have good values, and you need to learn these values because your friend. Wait a second. I'm not saying it. I'm not fighting with you. Just listen
I'm
to me.
not
please.
arguing with you either.
If you have your youth and your beauty and your education and your how do you say smart like brain, right? And you're thinking, oh, it's just a man that, not you specifically, but any other woman that is like you, saying, oh, I have a man that he can spend money on me and everything, and it's okay. I give him what he wants, he give me what I want. That's wrong, because all the women thinking like that, and good women suffer from that, because women come and give themselves for a bag, for a rent, for whatever. It doesn't work like that. It's not supposed to be like that. It's wrong. That's not how it's supposed to be.
But
I know
that's
in
the
the
world
mentality,
and it is.
but we can
reality.
change reality. We can change it.
So you don't think men should provide? You think they
Provide
should
for
just
the
come in-
wife, for a
Okay.
relationship, not for every hoe they meet on the street. Sorry.
She got to be a hoe. Now we get.
Now she got to be a hoe.
Now
She's a
we're a
prostitute.
hoe.
All right, let's jump on the
reality.
next one. Let's jump on the next
It's
one.
reality, so.
Wait, go to this camera fast. Let me make sure this is. Oh, this one. Okay. Jen, can you just move your camera, or mic a little that way so we don't block your face? Just so push it slightly that way.
Push-
Yeah, no, that towards the robot. Yeah,
Like that?
yeah, that's good. All right. Next one is not this at all. Totally different once again.
Yeah, I'm getting scared sitting over here.
Jenna's like, what?
All right, we got. I think my son is embarrassed that I'm a garbage man. Any advice? I went to my son's school yesterday for a parent career day, and I was the last parent to explain my profession. I told the kids that I was a garbage man and I pick up their trash every day. I noticed that when I was talking, my son was looking down and looked embarrassed. Maybe it's because a lot of the other kids' parents were lawyers, bankers, scientists, and doctors. We don't have much money, but I work very hard to provide for my son. And it just hurt me that he put his head down and looked embarrassed when I was explaining my profession. When I picked him up from school, he was very quiet and didn't say much at all, which is very unusual because he's very talkative. Is he embarrassed and ashamed of what I do? He's 10 years old.
Oh, he's 10, so he don't know the value. Because let me tell you, New York sanitation, to take that test though, you gotta like hop a fence, and they make money. And,
They do.
and let me tell you,
They
my
pay
dad,
well.
he
Make a lot
worked
of
for
money.
sanitation, but then he punched a foreman and got fired. So, but yeah, this is New York, right? What are you gonna do? But
Right.
I wouldn't have been ashamed. I mean, I'm kind of probably like, yeah, you hit that guy, but like, I wouldn't have been ashamed if my dad's career growing up. City job.
You were
it
ashamed?
depends. No, I wouldn't.
You
I
weren't.
wouldn't.
And then you have to know
Wouldn't
about
be.
hazardous materials and so forth. So you're right. I mean,
Yeah.
having a job like that, you do have to take specific tests and so forth to pass them. But
Right, you
again, if you're 10, you don't know.
Right, a 10-year-old doesn't know, because then it's like, is he like just sweeping the sidewalks? I mean, it all depends. But a job's a job, and the kid, 10 years old, they don't know that, you know, because come Christmas, you know, with Santa's real, in case anybody, you know, but,
Yeah.
you know, like, who do you think brought you those gifts, little 10-year-old brat?
It's
No.
very true. A job is a job, and if your parents are providing for you, that's all that matters. I mean,
Exactly.
but when you're 10 years old, when I was 10, when you think about your parents, or when you think about what you want to be when you grow up, you don't picture yourself as a garbage man, or you don't
Right.
picture yourself as a job like that. I mean, there's nothing wrong with it, but I know when you're little, you would expect bigger, but I mean, when you're older, you realize that that's also big, that also matters. So,
Right.
I mean, I don't think he's ashamed. I just think he just doesn't understand because he's so little.
And the father had to do that because his mother wasn't getting the $7,000 a month every month. So it was like, oh man, I better go pick up garbage. You know? Call back.
I would say communication conquers all. He should sit down with little man and then explain to him what the job entails. It's not just simply throwing bags in the back of a truck. The test is not easy.
Right, it's
You know
not.
what I mean? They get paid well. And he could even take them, you know what I mean, on a cute little father-son, you know, date. Take your kid to work.
Yep.
day
Might
and
smell, but-
explain it to him. Yeah.
It's my smell bad.
I think he should take him and explain what he does every day. It'd be fun.
Do you think that would help him not feel embarrassed about what his dad does?
I think so.
Yeah, I think.
I think
yeah.
it'll make him proud of what his dad does.
Yeah, you go lift that bag down, you
Show
little
him the
turd.
reality
Like
of
that,
what he really
it's
does.
heavy.
Because of him, the
I mean,
streets are clean, you know.
yeah.
Not kind of
Yeah, garbage men make.
I
pretty
mean,
good
I'm
money,
thinking
right?
of New York mentality. I'm
New York.
sorry, because Vegas, the truck be like, Transformers,
Yeah.
picking them up. In New York, man, these New Yorkers pick them up like Santa, throw them on the
Really?
truck, blocking the streets when you gotta go. Yeah.
Some of them are hot too. Some of them
Yeah, they got the right. They got the muscles.
Can I say something?
Shirts folded up.
Go ahead.
You finish. I just told my son last month, actually, we had a conversation about it. I said, all the professions that men have that are actually really good, because people get excited from like musician, artist, like glamorous stuff. But plumbers make millions. Yeah. Like garbage people make money. All the men that do their really hard labor work, they make a lot of good money. I know a guy that actually work in the forest and chop the trees. He's got a company already bought like 10 houses, millions he makes from that. People don't see it. People want to see the glamorous thing. So I think, like what she said, like whatever your parents do, just to explain to them, it's as long as they provide. Because I know some only fangirls that work for their parents.
I mean,
Those hoes.
what does your mommy do?
Dare they?
Well, can't take your kid to work that
I
day.
know it sounds funny, but I know I'm right.
All right, let's jump into the next one. This next one is actually kind of similar to the very first story we did, but on the other side of the spectrum. So this one is, I voted for Trump. This is very topical because of every election, but I voted for Trump. My wife sent me divorce papers. What do I do? I didn't even know it was possible to be served divorce papers this quickly. I don't even know what to say. I'm shocked that I married somebody willing to throw away our entire life over politics. Last week we were happy. Today we're getting divorced. She won't have a discussion. She says nothing will change her mind. She insists that she is going to report my parents because they live off of disability. But my dad does some cash work auto repair, so now I'm worried for my whole family. She wants me to buy her out of the house. We have $300,000 in the house, plus plus we also built a 4-bay garage that we bought 3 years ago. I can't afford to buy her out. When I told her this, as she was packing her things, she said, quote, I guess you're finally going to know what it really feels like to be effed by a Democrat. ETA, her name is on the deed, but not the mortgage. I'm not confident that I can reason with her. What do I do? Where do I start? How do I fix this? Is anyone else experiencing this in the wake of the election results?
That's why you don't talk about who you vote for. I mean, damn, that's just, I'm just saying, but don't you know, like, they're married.
Like, you
So
should
don't you know, like, your spouse's
views?
political views if you're...
Yeah,
they're
exactly.
more-
I mean,
Weird.
there's been presidents throughout those years that married. Like, I'm sure...
Maybe she was just
You know?
using that as an excuse to leave him.
Yeah, that's another one. Probably like a... Yeah.
Like
But
she
this
was gonna leave him
election,
anyway.
Yeah,
this
she was leaving
election was
anyways.
this election was a little weirder than the ones in the past. People, you know what I mean? They chose different things this go round, and a lot of minds flipped both ways.
Why do you think that is?
Because first black woman ever, and then Trump being the criminal that he is, up against that. You know what I mean? So it was very polarizing. It was like the black woman or the felon, the convicted felon.
The man.
Right, the man, the convicted felon male.
And
or the
Kamala's
black
not
woman.
crazy, you don't think? She's crazy?
Well, I'm just talking about, she's not a criminal. He's a convicted felon. She's not.
criminal, but she do it in the frame of the law. They'll give her permission to be criminal and put people in jail.
Yeah, but she's not a convicted felon.
He's not a
She's
convicted felon.
She was a prosecutor.
He never went to jail. They just tried to build a...
But he's still a
case to him.
convicted felon.
He's not.
Yeah. He's not a convicted felon?
No, because he never really
Wait, the
go
court
to jail.
didn't convict him?
Yeah, but they tried
Alright,
to...
so then it's yeah. So then
She's
it's yeah.
more than the court. She's more than the
Anyway,
court.
thank God that you got elected.
Do you guys, would you, if you had really strong convictions, kind of like we talked about earlier, but if you had really strong convictions one way and your partner did the same, and then, I don't know how many years he went down this, but say 10 years down the line, things have changed, and now you're divorcing that. Do you think that's fair to do, and to have to split up the house and do all that?
I mean, that's part of getting married, right? I mean, it's part of having a relationship like that. I mean, when you get married, you guys have to share everything. And I don't know, if your wife wants to leave you because of your views, and I mean, it's only fair, it's only legal. I mean, if there's no prenup, I mean, it's kind of what you signed up for when you get married.
Or there might be more to that.
Everything's shared.
Yeah.
And like, there might be more
Yeah.
to it. Maybe that was just the tip of that was just the breaking point for her, his
Or-
views, or when that, you know?
Right, or the main excuse, I don't know, like she could have been pissed off at other things. Then the election just happened and fresh, and they're like, oh yeah, you voted for Trump, I'm out of here.
Yeah.
You never know. But I don't know. I mean, you got to know the political views, I'm sure, before you get
I'm still trying to
together.
process the whole
There's
thing,
probably
so-
more
I
to it.
Yeah, like,
Right.
Like, what?
like you just met them.
I'm still trying to process it. So I'm like,
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead, Sheena.
So I think, me personally, if my husband would want to vote, for example, for Kamala, I would get really pissed off because it just showed me that I married a stupid man, and I wouldn't want to be with somebody who want to vote
Jeez.
woman, and the worst, this type of woman. Okay, but with that being said, if I got married with a man and I love him and we live a life together, I wouldn't want to break my marriage over something like that. So I would try
So-
to convince him.
So let's go around the table and just say, would you stay with the guy or would you break up with the guy?
If it's no way to change
If that
him?
it was a completely radical
I would-
political, he changed. You guys are the same. He changed. Would you break up or do you stay together?
What do you mean, like?
So like you were married to a man for 10 years. You were
Okay.
both on the same side politically,
Yeah.
and then he just radically changed the other way. Would you try and make it work or would you break up?
I mean, if we have kids, like I feel like there's a lot to it. But I mean,
Yeah.
also for me, like I said, it depends on morals too. Like if you're voting for someone who's against women, and I am a woman, like I wouldn't want to be with somebody who, you know, who sides with someone who views women in a bad way or wants to take their rights away or things. I don't think I could make that work. So
So you would
I'd
divorce?
probably divorce. I wouldn't want to put my kids in that situation either.
Yeah. What about you, Jen?
If you're a Red Sox fan or Astros fan, then yeah. But I don't do politics. I don't like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I gotta pay for gas anyway. So I mean, like, you know, I wouldn't want to throw 10 years of marriage just,
So you would try to make it work.
Yeah, I just like I just think if you're gonna get married, you can, you know. I mean, people get divorced, you know, but I wouldn't want to just be like, yeah, bye,
Yeah.
you know.
Okay.
I don't know.
What about next up?
I don't know. It's hard because, I mean, the political view is like, you really have to be strong and believe in it that much that you're willing to dissolve a marriage that's been there for 10 years, especially if you have kids, if you have a home or a business. I mean, it has to be really, really strong. And honestly, if I felt that way and that strongly about my views, then I probably would say, yeah, let's go our separate ways, because there wouldn't be a way to mend them. I wouldn't be able to be bent to believe in what he believes. So I would just say, you know what, let's go our separate ways. So yeah.
Okay, can I say something?
Yep.
Because I'm born in Israel and because I know what the political can bring in the future and the outcome, and because I know that, yeah, maybe a person could be representing a country in a like as a, you know, in a manner of like polite, speaking nice, and then Trump come off as crazy, hate women, and all these bullshit things that they say, right? But we have to put our emotions aside and understand that we need for the country the best person that can deal with people who are not polite and nice and cute. He needs to deal with people like in Iran and this and that. And if my husband know what my country goes through and he still go with Trump, hell yeah, I'll divorce him.
All right, Jen.
So I would say there's a difference between, you know, Trump's problem isn't that he's a jerk or that he's rude, right? That's not his problem. He's a racist, proof. He's a convicted felon.
He's not
proof.
racist.
He's racist.
He's not racist.
Wait,
There is a record.
Let Jen finish.
It is on record that he purposely did not rent to certain people of color. That is a fact. That is on paper. He's a convicted felon. That is a fact. That is on paper. He paid a prostitute, the girls you don't like, to keep quiet after he hired her. That is on record. That is on paper. So there's proof of he's just a disgusting human being. And as far as, you know, him sending him to other countries because he has a big mouth, he's laughable. Other countries are laughing at
No,
America.
that's not
Let me
true.
finish.
That's not
Let me
true.
finish. Let me
That's not
finish.
true.
Let me finish.
It's
I'm
a lie.
American. Let me finish. So other countries.
American, that's why you're so clueless.
Oh, I don't want to be one of those people
Because
that
you guys
go
say
back and
that
forth, but
people
don't
laugh
talk
at
about
him.
Americans.
You say they laugh at
So
him?
can I ask you a question?
Nobody
I just have a
They're
question.
literally-
Like,
Jen
after-
is still speaking. Just let Jen say her point.
Okay,
Everyone
so-
got their chance. Let Jen have her chance.
So I'll close on this. Other countries are laughing that is who we picked as a president. He's a man-child. It's embarrassing, honestly. It's
Well,
absolutely
so
embarrassing.
The question, I guess, is not about Trump. Let's just say anything. Like, let's say it doesn't have to be Trump. We're not
Oh,
talking
no,
about
I
Trump.
would,
Any president,
to
right?
answer the question,
Yeah.
I'd have to let him go.
Let him go. Okay.
Yeah, because
Got it.
it's too serious. It's
Yeah.
too contentious. This dude is the president now is too weird. It's
Yeah.
just too much.
Well, so let's pretend it's not Trump. Let's pretend it's just something else, like some other
Yeah.
thing, just for whatever it is. But it's
It's just
completely
too
opposite
intense.
to you.
yeah,
you let it go.
if
Views
it's
on it, yeah.
that
Opposite of you, yeah.
then why are we together?
Right.
Yeah, it's just too intense.
So
And
This
It's too
Sheena, did
much.
you want to? Oh,
I just had a question.
Let her
Yeah, go ahead.
say.
So I mean, it's probably I shouldn't off the, but like, so when you voted, right?
Yeah.
Did you vote? Sorry, the microphone. Did you vote with America in mind or Israel in mind?
Both America and Israel is like this. It's one
All right,
another.
I was just curious.
Let me
I
explain.
mean, I love
something.
matzah.
I want to explain. I want to explain to your question. A lot of people mock and say, "Oh, Israel is not the best ally for America." But let me tell you something. A lot of the training that Americans do, they learn from Israeli troops and vice versa, right? Israel opened the doors for Americans to do whatever they want in the Middle East, okay? Because it's a lot of stuff that going on in the Middle East that actually perpetrating against America. The thing is, when you say, and without disrespect, but I have to tell you this, I speak 5 languages and see the news in a lot of languages. The Arab world, the only time he respected Americans when Trump was elected. Okay? Because when all the other people were in the government, they were actually laughing at America. And even I'll tell you that after the last election of Trump, I went to a gas station when it was Arab people from Iraq, and I'm speaking Arabic, and it was this Jewish white woman. Obviously, the Jews here most support not Trump, the other side, which I think is completely stupid. And they were laughing at her. She said, "Oh, I can't believe you won." And she was like, "Oh, thank God they're so stupid," because they know they can come here and get benefits from the government, laugh at the people, sleep with American women, marry them for papers. They know exactly what's the American mentality. Everything has to be tolerance, unconfrontational.
So let me ask you something. Let me interject. Let me
That's
ask you
it.
something. If somebody said you're stupid and people from Israel are stupid,
I didn't
how would
say
you
you're
feel?
stupid.
No, you said Americans are stupid. I'm American. So if I
The
said
Democrats
to you,
are stupid.
Okay, so let me answer. So if I said you're stupid,
You can say.
and you travel all over the world, but your world is this big, your
Yes.
thinking is this big,
Yeah,
and your
you can
mind is
think
this
that. I
small,
don't
how
have-
would you feel?
You can think whatever you want.
No, I'm saying you're stupid. How would you feel?
I don't mind. I mean, I don't mind if you say I'm stupid. I know who I am. I'm an
How do you feel about Red Sox fans?
I have a question.
Yeah, red, I like it.
We're from the.
I have a
Wait,
question.
go ahead. Go
I have a
ahead.
question.
Yeah.
How much of the news is out there can you really believe?
Exactly.
Seriously.
Thank you for this.
How much of the news can you believe?
And I give you an example how much
I
you
mean,
write.
I speak Spanish. I'm not American. I'm Mexican, right? And I mean, I watch news in Spanish. I watch news in English. And
I
honestly,
speak sign language. I'm like,
honestly, I'm just sitting there watching it, and half of the stuff they're saying, I'm like,
Exactly.
it's fun. How are you talking
Can
about?
I tell you about that? I'm eager to tell you
Okay.
about it.
Let's jump to the next one. We'll come
we'll
back.
go
to
on
this.
your
Let's jump to the next
podcast to talk about.
one. All right, very quick.
I
Very
want to
quick.
tell you something how much you're right. When October 7 happened in Israel, and then you see what they say about the news about Israel unaliving Palestinian kids, and they don't know what happened in Israel. Not Angelina Jolie, none of the celebrity come and talk about the hostages that still in capture, about my friend and my friend's daughter who decapitated, raped, slaughtered, everything we went through, and then they make Israel like it's the perpetrator, bad people who just every day wake up and want to unalive Palestinian. I see the news here and I'm like, I want to cry because it's so much like not showing our side. You understand?
All right, we're gonna jump into the next one right now. Again, a whole another topic change again. This one is I read my boyfriend's journal. I've been dating my boyfriend for 2 years. It hasn't always been the easiest, but we've made it through a lot of hard stuff. I was over at his place the last couple of days, and I was poking around, which he teased he knew I'd do when he went to go shower. I was just looking around his work desk, flipping through papers, and one of them looked like a notebook. I thought it would have reminders for work, so I flipped it open. It turned out to be his journal. I went to set it down, but my eyes caught the first line that said, quote, "I love her so much. She makes me so happy," which made my heart swell. So I kept reading. It was a whole page gushing about his love and how he sees his future. Then, at the end of it, he said, "I love you, Krista. My name isn't Krista."
Oh, crap.
She didn't back.
You snoop, you find. You snoop, you find.
Exactly.
All right,
I mean-
Who wants to go first? What would you do if you were the snooper?
Sorry.
Go ahead. Go ahead. You can go.
I don't want to fight here.
No, you
Oh, no.
I love Americans.
She's American.
Yeah, USA. I mean, if you snoop, there's a. First of all, if you're snooping, you're suspecting, I think. But if you're gonna snoop and find, I mean, and you don't know when he wrote that. It could have been year before you met.
True.
You know, Krista
Yeah.
could be in the past. So,
What about
you know.
Alexandra? What do you think?
I feel like snooping through someone's stuff is invasion of privacy. I don't think that's okay. But if you do it, you have to be prepared for what you're gonna find.
right.
And like she said, and like Jen said, like if you don't know when he wrote that, and I feel that's probably something you're gonna have to talk to him about. But at the same time, why are you going through his stuff? You know what I mean?
Well, she even has this like fake excuse of, I thought it was a work. What did she say? It was
a work
workbook.
a workbook. Yeah. It's
So why are you looking at his
so
work
why
stuff?
exactly?
You his secretary? Like,
What's in there?
Yeah, what about you guys? What do you
I
guys
would
think?
find it kind of weird he has a journal. He's a guy.
That's the best thing.
I mean, I'm sorry. I would be like,
exactly.
I don't know.
There's
Maybe
an
to
age
me it's
restriction
like,
for journals.
why you have a
Right,
journal?
absolutely
What's going on?
can't
You know,
open
you
it.
got mommy
It's
issues, right? I mean,
Why he's got a journal? Exactly.
Oh my God.
I will question. I wouldn't even question who that is. I'll be like, why do you have a journal? What's going on? I mean, I don't know. To me, that's
Dear
I would be
diary.
like, right? Like, Dear John or something. I don't know. It's like, what's going on? You know?
People have journals for different reasons. They don't have someone to talk to. They don't have a therapist. They don't have a best friend. People have journals for all kinds of reasons. They write all kinds of things in there because that's a healthy way to talk about how you feel.
Or he knew she was gonna snoop.
Yeah.
And he was like, oh.
Because
this,
actually,
you know?
and the thing
Can
he
I
said,
answer?
she said, I was over his place and I was looking around. Which he teased, he knew that I would do when he went to go shower.
Yeah, I think it's a setup.
Yeah.
I think it's a
That's
joke
weird.
setup. Yeah.
Maybe.
That's weird.
Can I say something?
Go ahead.
If you, like she said, if you snoop, you're fine. But I think I wouldn't say anything. I would just make him feel guilty. Like, make him feel guilty. I love you so much because you're not cheating on me. I know you're a good man. And then he will do it and make an effort to make me feel even better.
But it wouldn't
Or he'll
bother you
keep
that
on
he
adding
loves
onto the
Krista?
journal.
Just sex. Like, if he's my husband and he loves me, as long as he doesn't want me to know, then I'm number one. That's what's important.
So it wouldn't bother you at all. It wouldn't bother you.
No, because men are different than women, you know? They build different.
Ha-
Men can be with thousands of women, women not. It's different.
Only if you're not American man. Right? No. I'm saying.
Wait, did it say journal on the top?
I love
on-
American
on
men.
it?
I
No,
think they're
no, I'm
amazing.
just teasing. Please don't beat me up.
What about
not gonna
you,
be-
Jen? What do you think? What would you
You're
do
a
if
sweet
you?
Jewish woman.
What would you do if you found
say,
it?
I would say if she's snooping, she probably suspected.
Hmm.
Because I don't know why else you would snoop through somebody's things unless you're trying to get proof. And like she said, be prepared for what you find. If you're gonna snoop because you're gonna find something and exit,
Yeah.
then snoop. But to snoop and then start an argument and blah blah blah, it's like if you're gonna snoop, be prepared to find something and be prepared to exit, or else leave it alone.
Yeah.
Going around the table real quick, if somebody snooped on you, regardless of what they found, would you be okay with that? Just say you would be fine or you break up. What would you do? Some one word. What would you do?
I mean, I've had that happen to me before. I've had
Really?
a boyfriend. Oh yeah, and he found a lot of stuff, and I'm like, well, you know, this wasn't the thing about when you snoop and you find things. The timeline.
Exactly.
You find
Yeah.
about you or you find
don't-
about him?
No, he was snooping my stuff, and was like, oh, I saw you were coming. I was like, look at the date, butthole. Look at the date, right? So when you snoop,
That's all.
Did you
I mean,
did you stay with him after that or?
yeah, I stayed with him, but I was
You don't trust them as much.
yeah,
because they go
right.
through
It
your
breaks
stuff.
Right,
the
because you don't
trust.
trust. Yeah.
And then you find yourself explaining something that you don't even have to explain because you're no longer with that other person.
Right.
So it's kind of silly in a way, like to start an argument like, oh, but I saw you said blah, blah, blah to him. And I'm like, but I'm not with him anymore. But now you look through my stuff,
Yeah.
right? So then that put a strain on the situation. But I've had a guy snoop on me and it was not
So what about the rest of you guys? Would you guys break up with somebody or would that not bother you if they snoop through your stuff? Regardless of what they found. Who cares what they find?
Well, I don't know. I mean, I wouldn't trust them as much, like with my stuff, I guess you could say. But I mean, I don't think we'd break up. I don't know.
I would. Puts a dent in the relationship. Honestly, I'm too old to explain myself. If you found, seriously, I'm 47 years old. If you found what you found and you're not bright enough to look at the dates and look at the way the story falls, you know what? I don't got time for this.
Right. And if you don't know how to
many years
hide,
left, right?
You don't know how to hide stuff.
I gotta go. I gotta go. I don't want
there's apps you could hide. You could put your privacy on your Safari. Like, you know what I'm saying? So like,
professional, girl.
nah, I don't do those things. I don't cheat, none of that. But I'm just saying, if you slip, yeah.
I think
yeah,
for snooping too, I'm like, just ask. Like, if you're in a relationship with somebody, you should be comfortable and trusting enough to
Right.
ask instead
Stop
of just
Googling too.
snooping and doing the extra mile and
Yeah.
But
doing
to
things
answer
like that.
your question,
relationship snooping.
if it just ended right there, like, hey, like, don't snoop, whatever. But if you kept going and going and like, oh, I don't trust you now, then okay, then you gotta. That's it.
Yeah.
If there's no trust,
Yeah.
that's it.
I don't think in a relationship there's such a thing as snooping, because if I have a boyfriend and I don't have the passcodes for all his stuff and I don't transparent with him 100%, why would I want to be with him? Because if he is a real man, smart man, strong man, if he would cheat, he needs to be really, really good at it. You know what I mean? For me not to
So,
find out.
but you said earlier it sounded like it doesn't.
No, it
wouldn't
doesn't matter.
bother
I'm
you
not
if
gonna.
he
That's what
cheats.
I'm saying. I'm not gonna find out, but I'm not gonna go and
So
look
you-
for that. But if I find out,
Yeah.
right? It depends. If she's a regular lover, if it's a one night stand, if you wear condom, if you didn't wear, it's a lot of things to it, you know.
You know what? I don't want to have a relationship where I have to give this guy my social security number and my password and my codes to everything. You know what? You selected
For
me.
Facebook, for
No,
Facebook.
I don't care. No.
Really?
You selected me. You're gonna trust me. I don't have to give you my password to my
But you don't
Facebook,
wanna
my
be on his
Instagram,
phone?
my OnlyFans.
Oh, hey,
goes
whoa.
both ways,
No,
though.
I'm just saying, I don't have
you
one.
wanna-
I'm just saying.
No, but I'm asking
But
you.
at the
You don't
same-
want to. You don't want to have his passcode.
No, I don't care.
Really?
Listen, no. To me, it's like this.
I have my spouses.
No. If I build a relationship with you, it's going to be built on trust. If I need to interrogate you and ask you A, B, C, and D, that means that I'm insecure as a person, and now I'm going to bring my insecurities to this relationship, which at the end of the day is going to be crap because we're not going to build anything.
But
so I'm not giving anybody my password for my Instagram, my Facebook, my TikTok,
that goes
or my
both
social
ways.
security
But it's
number.
not
That
about
goes both
insecurity. Let
ways.
me
If
ask you
you're
a
not gonna
question.
give, if you're not gonna give someone your personal stuff like your passcode,
I
and
wouldn't
stuff,
ask.
then you shouldn't expect that either.
Absolutely, I completely agree
But
with
I
you.
want to
wouldn't
ask you. But I want to ask you a question. As a, answer me sincerely.
Yeah.
Like it's not about going to Snoop to his passcode or anything. I'm saying naturally, if you live in the same household and you have a relationship, he's not gonna sit with his phone like this so you won't see. Like you sit next to him, you see his passcode, you see your passcode. Everything's supposed to be like nonchalant free. You know?
Exactly. If I live with somebody and he's sitting down on his phone and I go sit down next to him, I'm looking at what he's looking at.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
But I'm not going to go and wait
And
for him to fall
away from your
asleep
way.
or get in the shower. And
Exactly. Yeah. That's what I'm just saying.
It's just a waste
I'm
of
just
my
saying,
time.
I'm not gonna-
you know,
yeah.
it's a waste of my
I agree
time.
with you. Exactly. I'm
It's just if
saying.
we're sitting down and I'm on TikTok and I'm watching something and it's hilarious, I'm gonna send it to him. I'm gonna say,
Exactly,
hey, here you
yeah.
go, look at this, you know.
Yes.
Or if he takes my phone and say, hey, Maritza, I'm gonna make a phone call. Hey, go ahead, open it.
Yeah.
I don't need to put a code like a lock on my phone
Exactly.
if he's gonna, it's okay. Go ahead, grab it. But
That's
if I
what I
have to
meant.
sit
That's
there
exactly
and I
what I
have to
meant.
say, what's your passcode for your Instagram or what's your
If you have to
password?"
ask, that's wrong.
Nah, you know what? I'm too tired. I don't have time.
I don't know. I think maybe when you're married, it's different.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Because
I
it's
just-
there, it's there in the
Yeah.
open. You don't have to ask; it's already there. So if you grab my phone and you're on my Facebook, I don't care. Open it. It is what it is. Whatever is there is there. But if I have to go on your phone and start looking at all your messages and all your stuff, then
There's no.
When you
there's
sleep
an
and take the
issue.
phone,
There's,
you're like,
there's already an issue
put it
with
in
me.
his
You know?
face.
So before we jump into the next one, Sheena, would you be able to just like briefly summarize your philosophy? So I'm interested in what you said. So you wouldn't, correct me if I'm wrong.
Let me explain.
Yeah, try and summarize it in a succinct way because I don't really
I'll
understand
explain. Okay.
the philosophy.
Because men are completely different than women physically, mentally, emotionally, right?
Physically.
So, for
Physically, for
example,
sure.
also it's many kind of men. Some men are like serial cheaters, right? That's a different story. But if I'm in a relationship that I love the man, he's a good man, he's really a solid man, and he travel, I don't know, Thailand, whatever it is, and he had one night stand with a woman, and he wear condom, and I don't know about it. I don't want to know about it. Sometimes when a man cheats, it's good for the relationship because he appreciate what he's got at home. He's with her like, what the hell am I doing? Why did I do that? I have a better woman at home, because a lot of women, they don't understand the man mind, and like they take it personal, like it's her. Just for the fact that sometimes he go with something new, even if the woman is less than you, less prettier, less whatever, right? Just for the fact that it's new, sometimes it's excite him more, you know? And it brings with all this energy, he brings it to the relationship, and it's better for the relationship. Now, with that being said, I'm not saying a man should go cheat and do whatever they want. I'm against it. But if it happened and I'm number one, it's important to him that I don't know about it, that I'm not going to find out about it. I'm not going to look. I'm not going to search. You understand? And
so
if
is the
I
finding
do,
out about it the
and
key
if I do,
part?
wait, and if I do, that's the thing that you wanted to know. And if I do, it depends. If he go with my colleague, with my friend, with my client, with somebody I know, and they have an affair, they talk on the phone, she can text him freely, of course I'm not going to be with him. But if he went somewhere and he had one night stand, he didn't even give her his phone, and he told her, listen, I'm in a relationship, it's not going to be more than that night, I'm not going to see you anymore. I don't want, actually I would be proud of him that I'm number one, you know.
So, as long as he goes to another country and cheat, you're okay.
Not just another country, it could
Not
be anywhere,
Not
but also it depends. If you do it once in a blue moon, but if you do it every week and looking for women and think it's okay, no.
But how will you know if the whole point is you don't want to know?
The whole
Yeah,
point
it's a
that I don't want to
non-factor.
know exactly. If I don't know, even if he cheat on me with the rest of the world, and I don't know nothing, and I get everything I need, why would I need to know? Whatever you don't know, it doesn't kill you.
Do you guys agree with that?
I don't agree with that because whatever you don't know, what that could kill you if you're sleeping around with other women, and if he's protected or not protected, you don't know what he's
No,
doing.
this I agree with you.
But I'm saying, but like he could that could kill you. Like
No,
he can
no,
give
no,
you
I
something
agree
that
with you.
could kill
She
you.
said only if it's
you
protected.
you get HIV from
Yes.
someone because
Yeah,
he
but you
wants to
can
sleep
get- you can
around
have oral
because he
sex,
thinks
you can
it'll
wear
make him.
condoms.
No,
more
this
horny.
I agree with you. That's what I said earlier.
Yeah.
If you had one night stand, listen, we cannot prevent, not just men, women and men, okay? We cannot prevent the people that we are with, men or women, to know if they cheat on us or what they're going to do. Because people, between you and me, all of us in all ages know
Right.
that people can be manipulative and sneaky. But at least, you know, and we're not
But-
going to live with that person forever. We
but
only have a short amount of
You
time.
also have to have a standard for yourself.
Of
What
course,
kind of
of
standard
course.
do you
I
have for
agree with you.
yourself to be with a man who cheats on you? But it's okay because he used a condom.
It's not okay.
What
No,
kind
that's
of
not what I
standard-
said. You think
And
I-
went to Thailand.
What
It's
kind
not
of
what I said.
standard-
That's what I
What
said.
kind of
That's
standard
what
do
I
you
said.
have for yourself? What
That's
kind of
not-
morals do you
please
have for yourself
explain to her what
as
I
a
said.
woman to allow your man?
You
because-
took it out of
because
context. That's not what I
exactly
said.
what you're saying.
That's not what I
exactly
said.
what you're saying.
That's
Am I wrong?
not-
Am
yes.
I-
That's how I took it like
That's wrong.
that. So you're saying that
I did.
if
How
he
did
goes
you
to
take it?
Thailand
Exactly what
and
you're
uses
saying.
a
Not what I said.
condom,
Okay, can I phrase it again since they didn't
Yeah, go
understand
ahead.
me?
Phrase it again.
It's not black and white. Of course, I want to be with a man that would never cheat on me. But if I'm living with a man and he happened to have a one night stand somewhere that I don't know nothing about, I don't want to know about it. But I cannot, not you, not me, not anybody can stop somebody from craving someone else. We are sexual creature, we are emotional creature. Sometimes you can meet someone and have a conversation and you feel like you're attracted to him, even if you're married and you're in a relationship. But that means that you need to go and cheat? No. But that's how it happens.
It's called discipline.
And a man,
It's called
a discipline,
It's
yes.
called
But
respect
men is
for your
different.
partner. That's what
But
it's
men
called.
are different than women. That's up until 70 years ago in the Middle East. All the men married more than 2-3 women. Even now in other places, men marry
That doesn't mean
2 or
it's
3
okay.
women.
That doesn't
It's
mean
not
it's
okay
valid.
here,
It's-
but it's
it's-
okay in other places.
It's okay to turn a blind eye.
Right. As long
Yeah.
as you don't know.
Yeah,
As long as I don't know.
What do you think? What do you think?
it's not good. It doesn't matter what we think.
I don't think men are different than women. I think that's a scapegoat so men can do
Whatever
whatever
they
they
want.
want. If a man vows fidelity, he's not different from a woman. A promise is a promise. A vow is a vow. He doesn't get to wander off because men are different from women. A promise is a promise. A vow is a vow. Period. But I said before on the other show, there are a lot of single-minded people in committed relationships. If you want to mess around, don't take
Don't be
a
in a
man or
relationship.
woman.
Don't take a
Don't
vow.
take a
Yeah,
vow.
chicks are crazy too.
Don't promise.
Yes, yes, yes.
And do whatever you want. But I
agree.
can't be
Let's
at home
put
and
it-
be stupid and be like, oh, as long as I don't know.
Let's put it into a male
I
perspective.
can't do that.
Into a male perspective, if a man found out that his woman cheated with someone else, he's instantly gonna leave. They're never gonna stay because that's wrong, right? So why, as a woman, would you want to stay? Because he provides for you. If you
But
can
it
provide
doesn't
for
matter
yourself?
if we want to. Listen, all conversation doesn't mean anything. You know why? Because in the end of the day, if somebody want to cheat on you, they're going to cheat on you. So if you be with the finger on the pulse, looking if he's cheating on you or not, it's not going to help. But I'm saying you're not going to break a relationship of 10 years, 20 years because he had one night stand overseas. I'm not going to break a relationship for one night stand. I think it's stupid. The relationship is way more important than
Wait,
one night
wait,
stand.
I have-
No, the
and let me-
relationship isn't important.
I have,
you wouldn't have
wait,
cheated.
wait, I have a
You
question.
wouldn't have
But
cheated.
one
I have a
second,
question.
I just want to answer to what she said. And I tell you why men and women are completely different. Because even if in our physicology, how do you say, in our physical body, man takes everything out from his body. Woman takes everything in. When a man have too many body counts, emotionally and spiritually, it's really affecting her. With men, he had sex, he come, that's it, he's over. He doesn't even think about it. They can be in love with the wife and have sex with another woman and don't even think about it. But women, you think it's not true, but women don't understand men. That's the problem we have in the world, because
I have
women
a
don't
question.
understand how men think.
I have a question, and because I'm kind of confused here. So, if your husband was to go to Thailand and have an affair with a woman, right? And
Affair, no.
and it's a one night stand. A one night stand.
Okay.
You're telling me that as long as he makes you number one, you're okay with this because he knows that you're a better woman. If you were a better
It's not
woman,
that I'm a better woman.
Hold on. Don't interrupt me.
Okay,
If you
sorry.
were a better woman and you're number one, then he would have never looked at that woman, and he would
not
have
true.
never slept with that woman for a one night stand.
That's
Oh,
the-
yes, it is. Because when a man is committed to a woman and the relationship is solid and the sexual attraction is there and it's good, he
That-
doesn't care if the woman's standing naked in front of him. He won't touch
Can
her.
I answer you?
right?
Wait,
Yeah,
can I
I
answer?
would
Can I
never
answer her?
cheat. I would never
But she's
cheat.
not on my. But can I answer? you?
answer me, answer
That's
me.
the most important thing that women don't understand. For men,
Mm-hmm.
okay, the difference that men can sleep. That's what I said earlier. Men can sleep with his wife and love her and make love to her, and then he go outside and have sex with a woman that look completely different from his wife, unattractive. Okay, just because it's something new. It's got nothing to do with you. The relationship in a whole as a relationship, it's supposed to be more important. Women don't understand how men's head work. You understand? Men doesn't care. They don't care. They can love you and still have sex with another woman. It's nothing to them.
But you're talking about it's so convoluted when you speak. You're talking
do you mean?
about
What is
you mix up all different demographics and
But you
subjects
understand
all
what
at
I'm
once.
saying, right?
I understand exactly
Right?
what
You
you're
understand
saying.
what I'm saying?
You're talking about socialization and biology. 9 times out of 10, women don't sleep around because of society, and you're gonna be a hoe and a slut and a prostitute and blah
exactly.
blah blah, right?
Yes, they do because of society.
Men, no, but that's socialization. That's not biology. Men get applauded for cheating. Oh, yeah, but you love your wife.
That's why
You
women
cheated,
cheat
but you
more
love
because
your
they don't get
wife.
applaud. They want to hide it better. They
Absolutely
hide
not.
it better.
Absolutely.
I work
absolutely
with women.
not.
Listen, I work with women in
We
the Nets
all
for
work with
16
women.
years.
We all work with men. We
Women-
all traveled. We all speak
Women-
different
okay,
languages.
okay,
You're not
okay.
the only one.
Okay,
Relax.
okay.
Okay. So we have experience. Okay. We all have experience.
You have experience, but you still
Okay.
don't understand how men's
No,
head
we
work.
know. How are you gonna tell me I don't know how men? So
If
I
you
don't
think,
deal with men.
if you think,
I don't
that,
deal
no,
with
but
men.
if you think that men and women are exactly the same, it's not true. We're not
I didn't
the
say
same.
they were. I didn't say they
Earlier
were.
you
exactly
said
Look what you
the same.
started.
I didn't say they were exactly
never
the same.
said- She said yes,
never
she
said
said that.
that.
All right,
They
wait,
were
one at a
exactly
time,
the
one at a
same.
time.
Didn't you say that men, it's no different between men and women?
No, I
They
didn't.
cheat?
I didn't say that. Men and women are different biologically.
different.
Duh. However, what you're talking about, the whimsy you're talking about, oh, men are outward and women are inward. So roaches mate, raccoons mate, tigers mate. You're putting
We're
whimsy
not
and
raccoons.
spirituality. You're putting
It's different.
spirituality.
They're not
into
spiritual
it.
like us, of course. That's what I'm
Okay.
saying.
All right. It's whimsy. It's whimsy.
Why are you comparing me to animals? We're
Let,
not
It's whimsy.
let's put a pause on this.
you
Let's-
are. You actually are.
Let's pause this.
Yeah,
Let's pause this and
okay.
let's jump on to the next one. We got another one to get through right now.
Yes.
And this one, he's gonna come over and just adjust that one more time to not block your face. Here, just take a look at the, angle so you can see him. This next one is a very highly debated one, apparently. Once again, a different direction. It says. Single mother. So let me give the context, I guess. So this is somebody who's asking for advice that is in a dating context. The context of this is they're trying to date and they're running into this thing, and a lot of people have shared this. A lot of people have very strong opinions about this one. So this is as it reads: single mothers to mixed race kids. How do you show your child to prospective men for the first time? I had my son when I was 19, and I've been raising him solo ever since. I love him with all my heart, and I wouldn't change anything about my son. I am white, and he is unambiguously mixed race. I'm 25 years old now, and I've gotten to where I know what I want in a relationship and in a man. So I'm getting back out there and looking for a long-term relationship to settle down with. The problem that I'm facing now is that I have met some guys who seem great, but when I show them a photo of my son, they get scared off. They'll either ghost me Or suddenly the next day, they'll tell me they don't see the relationship going forward or just ask to be friends with benefits. This is after multiple dates. I only show the photo in person to men I'm comfortable with. I do not show photos of my son to men I haven't met, and I don't have photos of him in my profiles. Sometimes I can see the interest fade from their face the moment they see the photo. What do I do about the situation with my mixed race child?
I feel like she's showing them her son way too soon. You have to build a relationship and the trust to even introduce your child to somebody or show them your child, because that's very dangerous. Like, you don't know people nowadays. People are kind of crazy. Like, why would you're kind of putting your child in danger too. I feel like you need to build the relationship and build that trust, build that foundation first, and then introduce that you have a child. And if they don't want to be there, then they don't want to be there. But you can't just throw your child at them, because I feel like that's too much. It's
So
too much
how long
too
do you
soon.
think she should wait?
Me, I'm not sure. Personally, if I was with the guy and I was talking to the guy, I would want to know maybe after like 3 to 6 months, maybe. I don't know. Personally, me, I wouldn't
About the existence of the child, or are you to see the child?
to see the child.
To see,
Okay.
yeah, she's right. I agree with her.
I would want to
100%.
know about the child, but not to see your child. Like, that's
Yeah.
so soon. Like, why would you show me a picture of your child when I don't even know you?
Hmm.
You know what I mean? You can tell me you have a child. You can tell me if it's a little boy or a little girl. Okay, you can tell me, but I don't want to see your child. Yeah, like I don't know you enough to want to know your child. I feel like that's a lot of commitment. It's too much too soon.
So you think the multiple dates is too soon still?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think
definitely.
so.
I
Yeah.
agree with her 100%.
But
Just
is she saying it because a child is mixed, or because
She's the
you're
one.
showing
I don't
a
know
kid?
what the reason
Who
for
cares
including
about
that
the
is,
color?
but it's.
But that's what
Who
it
cares?
said. I don't listen.
I
I
don't
don't
care
care
about
either.
the
My
color.
cousins are all mixed, but
Yeah.
not that I have to throw that out there. I'm just saying I don't care about that. But the story you're saying is that she's white. That was specifically said, I'm white and my kid is mixed.
I think
when I
there's a-
show guys. So
What is the
it
question? I
like
don't know.
is it she's just coming across the wrong guys who might be racist, or she's just showing her kid way too soon? Like, oh,
Yeah.
you have a kid already.
I think that
You know.
it could be that she's probably showing the son way too soon
That-
and
yeah.
scaring the man, because the man is probably thinking, "Hey, I didn't sign up to be a stepdad. I didn't sign up to be a
Right.
daddy. We've only gone on 3 dates."
Right, and that makes
I'm
sense.
just saying.
Yeah.
Right, for that reason it makes sense. But if
I
they're
agree with
backing
you.
off because of the race, then
Yeah.
they shouldn't be
So
with.
Is that
Don't
one
be
of the
with
reasons?
them.
Why did she even mention the race at
Especially-
all?
Right, don't be
That's
with
a
somebody
whole
who's
part of
gonna.
Yeah, the race
story.
Right.
doesn't seem to
Especially
be in the
too.
question. I don't know.
I'm
Right,
just-
because just don't be with that person if they feel that because your kid is mixed,
That's a
then
red
maybe
flag.
that's the wrong
That's a red
person.
flag right there.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I'm gonna
Oh.
speak for personal.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah.
Yep.
For my personal
You married or
life. I was married for 18 years,
Mm-hmm.
and then I divorced, and I was single for 2.5 years. I met somebody. I spoke with them for a year and a half before, and he knew I had children. I spoke with him for a year and a half before I even introduced my children to him. And I told him, we're gonna go out to dinner. I'm gonna introduce you to my children. If I don't see any connection, I'm sorry. I'm a mother first and a woman second.
That's
The
why you
relationship
respect you
ends.
probably a lot.
He met my children loved him, and the relationship moved forward. But I waited a year and a half. I mentioned my children automatically right away. Why? Because I'm not embarrassed of being a single mother after 18 years of marriage and having 3 kids. I'm not. I'm proud of that. But this is who I am. I come as a package. This is my kids.
Of course.
I'm not going to introduce you to my kids because I don't know you from scratch. A year and a half later, after I felt that I knew you, I'm going to introduce you to my children. If there's a connection, we move forward. If there's not, it ends there. And that's it. So I feel like she's probably telling the guys on the second or third date, hey, my child is mixed. And the guy's like, hey, you know what?
Yeah.
I don't want to move forward that fast. I don't want to be a stepdad. I don't want to have daddy. I don't want to take him out with us.
Yeah.
Let's take it slow. So maybe she's moving way too fast.
Yes, I think
That's
you're
what I'm
right.
thinking.
And
you
I
know?
feel like
Which
too,
is
she
correct.
feels that the color is a problem, and maybe that's a red flag.
Or
And
she's making it.
Right,
yeah,
she could be
that's just
making that as
part
an
of the
excuse.
problem.
She's
It's like,
making
why?
So you think she's like focusing on this?
Yeah, on
Yeah.
the color
Yeah.
too much, because
Yeah.
the color of your child doesn't matter.
It doesn't
The
matter.
fact- The fact is a fact. You have a child, despite
Yeah.
the color, despite the gender. You have a child.
It's still a little human being.
but yeah,
Yeah,
to
like that
focus-
shouldn't even be an issue.
To focus on the color of your child is kind of like, why?
yeah.
Well, it doesn't sound to me like the child is all that ambiguous. First of all, if she's thinking that they're having a knee jerk reaction, like, oh, I don't want to be with whatever the mix is.
Yeah,
of
she
this
says
child.
she says that I am white and he is unambiguously mixed race. That's a confusing way to write
Okay,
that.
unambiguously. So the
Unambiguously.
kid looks whatever the race of the father is.
Right,
Yeah.
yeah.
Maybe she's in her head about it more than the guys are. With
Yeah,
single
that's what I
moms,
think.
it's funny because some guys are like, "Why are you showing me the picture?" Like,
Yeah, that
I don't
could
wanna
just be
Yeah,
You know, dad.
exactly.
It's
Too
just,
soon.
which is fine on both sides. He's just not someone who she should be interested in or move forward with.
Right.
Some guys are cool with you having
Yeah.
kids. Some guys are like, "Oh, I don't want," you know.
Yes.
Yeah.
Some guys don't want to be the daddy.
It's too
Right.
much too
You know?
soon.
Yeah, it is.
All right, well, let's jump into the next one. The next one is actually, I think it's the most popular submission to the Am I the Jerk, amithejerk.com/submit, number one of all time.
Oh,
What did you say? Sorry, I missed what you said.
So we have submissions for the show, amithejerk.com/submit. This next one is our number one most upvoted one ever at this point. It might change by the time you're watching this, but as of right now, this is, of all time, this is the biggest one. So
The one that you do now, right now?
right now, we're about to say it right now, this moment.
Wait, right now?
Right now.
Wait, at
This
8:07?
I think you had a good combination with contradicting each other, and it raises,
No, this is it right here. This is the most popular one.
okay.
Am I the jerk for refusing to give my baby to my twin sister who has always been, quote, the golden child? Hi, am I the jerk? I am in a really tough spot and I could use some outside perspectives. That's you guys. I'm a 28-year-old single woman. I'm currently 7 months pregnant and living on my own. My sister and I are twins, but she is the golden child in our family, always getting special treatment, praise, and the best of everything. Growing up, she was the perfect daughter in my parents' eyes. While I often feel like the overshadowed one, it was like our entire childhood revolved around her being showered with gifts and accolades, while my achievements were downplayed or ignored. Now she's married, and I've heard her husband is great, but they've been struggling with infertility. The situation has now taken an insane turn. Recently, our parents approached me with a shocking proposal. They want me to give my baby to my sister and her husband once it's born because they believe she, quote, deserves it more. My heart sank when they expressed this. They argued that since she has a stable home and a family, she is better suited to raise the child than I am, given that I am a single mother. This left me feeling heartbroken and furious. I get that they're excited about being grandparents, but I've sure worked hard to prepare for this baby, and I firmly believe that my child deserves to be raised by me. Sure, I might not be a picture-perfect family in their eyes, but I have a lot of love to give, and I can provide for my baby. I thought my refusal would completely put an end to their unreasonable expectations, but instead they escalated things. They staged a family meeting where they tried to pressure me further. My mother even went as far as to giving me an ultimatum saying, quote, if you don't do this for your sister, we will withdraw all support for you and will stop considering you a part of this family.
That's absurd.
This completely blindsided me, and I was left feeling more isolated than ever. I've since expressed my clear stance. My child is not a pawn in this ridiculous game. I've told my parents I'm not giving up my baby, and frankly, I was surprised that they would even ask. But I'm worried that my refusal might permanently fracture our already strained family ties. So, am I the jerk? Am I the jerk for saying no to my parents and refusing to give my baby to my sister?
Absolutely not. She's not the jerk. I think that's very absurd. I mean, if you as a mother, you're gonna have this baby, you know that you're ready for it, you know that you're financially, ready to support this baby and emotionally, and you're able to provide. Why would you give your child to somebody else? That's crazy. If they were to ask her to maybe, what do they call it when you're able to
Like be
have
the godmother?
or like if you're able to
godparent?
have a baby for somebody else, like
Surrogate.
if you would ask her to be a surrogate, maybe that would be a good way to to ask them, because if she can't have a baby, but to give someone your baby knowing that you want this baby and that you want to care for this baby and you're ready for this baby, that's ridiculous. That's hurtful, especially
Ridiculous.
to have your parents sit there and say you don't deserve this child. Yes, you do, because you're ready to have this child. You were given this child for a reason. Like, for your parents to sit there and say that you don't deserve it was very absurd, and I feel like she's not the jerk for that.
No, I was in a similar situation with my brother, but it was over my candy. And, and I was like, I don't want to give him half my now and laters, but No, seriously, like, I mean, is this story even real? Like, are there
Sounds
people out
crazy.
there that do that?
This is
Yes,
actually this is
there
one
is
of our
one.
viewers.
Okay, so
Our
viewer,
viewers-
okay, so then you know what?
What's that?
Are they from Utah?
Oh, that might, yeah.
They didn't say.
All right, so to your viewers, I'm sorry I joked about it, but but no, seriously, to your viewers, like you're not the jerk, you're not, because who does that?
Who does that?
People from Utah.
Who
I'm
does
just kidding.
that? Because like again, if you were asked like, hey, can you be a surrogate, like you said, that's different. Like, hey, yeah, let's sign papers. I will gladly help you, but. You can't go give you a baby. Like, what do you, Oprah? You get a baby. You get a baby. You get a baby. Everybody gets a baby. Like, come on.
I can't wrap my mind around that. So I don't know.
She's
what
not
to
the
say.
jerk. I don't
Can
think
I-
she's a jerk.
I believe she's not the jerk.
So
I just can't wrap my mind
Is
around
there
it.
anything in life that you think would justify a family giving this sort of hardcore ultimatum?
But
Is
can-
there
No.
anything that's like, I mean, you don't even really hear with like, addiction issues. You don't even really hear
Yeah.
that even happening. But this is an ultimatum when it's not for not giving a baby. Is there
I wanna
anything you could
answer
think of
for
that
that.
would? Do you have an answer for this?
I
Go
wanna,
ahead.
I want to talk about it as well. A lot of families, believe it or not, all over the world, right?
Wait. Well, let's answer the question
Regarding
first.
this-
Let's
I'm
answer the
ans- I'm
question.
answering
You answer the question? Okay,
Yes,
go
yes,
ahead.
yes. A lot of families, they always have one person that is a black sheep of the family. And believe it or not, if the other daughter was like the favorite one and she's married and financially stable and the other one looking like that and she's to begin with was the black sheep of the family, obviously some parents do these things, but I do think that she should definitely not give them her child because it doesn't matter to play a game like this is her child and not her child and she's going to stay heartbroken. I think it's horrible like that somebody would even offer that.
But
So
there's-
the
that's
first-
true though, because there are black sheeps of the family, and that's how parents do move with their
Exactly.
children because
Yeah.
they don't see their child as successful or as lovable
Exactly.
as the other.
But what are
other
they
one.
teaching
It's
that
like-
other daughter? That other daughter that is
Yeah.
like the privileged one.
She doesn't care.
That
She's the
whatever
privileged.
she wants is going to be
Yes.
hers, regardless.
She used to it.
Hey, you know what? You want her hair? Let's chop it off.
But there's
She
families like
doesn't
that.
deserve
There's
it.
families
Shame
like
on you
that.
for having long hair. And
But-
no,
but-
shame
but
when
it-
you have burned hair. It's like
Is there anything that
no, nothing
that would-
justifies nothing.
No ultimatums. You don't
There's
think,
no
like-
ultimatum.
so do you
There's
think
nothing in
families
this
should ever
world.
use the final straw
No.
of we
No,
won't talk to you if you don't
there's
do
not.
this?
This is your child. This
Can
is,
I-
you're carrying it.
Right.
You want it. You knew when you had intimacy relationship with X, Y, and Z person that this could happen. And who the hell is that? Who am
Yeah.
I to tell her what she can do with her body and her kid?
But maybe they
No.
hold her financially.
It doesn't matter. No, it does. If
Maybe
she,
they
but she
control
said
her.
no. But she says she can support herself
really?
financially.
Okay, I didn't hear
So
that.
the thing is, I don't care what
She's
you
gonna
think
lose
is
her
right.
family.
It's not right. And
Right,
that,
it'd be-
and that, and that
It's not
child
right.
has been raised
Completely.
completely wrong
Yeah.
and sick because now she's gonna say, "Hey, I want his car. Let's slap him around and take his car."
No, right.
It's like, what the hell's wrong
Like
with
if
you?
there was something, God forbid,
Right?
wrong with her, and you went to court and said, "Hey, listen, she
Then
shouldn't
that's a
be."
whole different
That's
ballgame.
different, but not
Can
like, "Hey, give me a baby to your sister." 'cause, you know,
I wanna,
she can't carry.
All right,
I
Sheena, you
want to
gonna
say
say?
something. When I was in whatever podcast, I think a few months ago, it was a girl. Seriously, honestly, true story. It was a girl that she was the black sheep of the family. That's what she said. And her father offered her to do the OnlyFans. Like he's the one that pushed her. And she said, even if I want to live it, I feel guilty because I feel like all the burden of, the financial burden of the family, it's in my back. And I was like, seriously, just stop speaking to your dad. But,
Her
some
father?
families,
Her
her father, believe it. I met so many because I speak in front of a lot of women, right? And a lot of women, believe it or not, the family is the one that pushed them to do it. The family is in a bad situation. It's also, what's her name? Is a big OnlyFans star now called Bonnie something.
No, let's
She's-
not say whatever it is. Don't say
Okay,
it.
sorry. She goes with thousands of guys, and you see her mother talk on the podcast, and she said, "Oh, she's taking me on a nice vacation. She's helping the family. She's supporting the." Some people, they're themselves stuck in their childhood, and when they have a child, they're not responsible to actually tell them what's the right.
Maybe they
or
should
bad
go
thing
get
to do.
therapy.
Yeah.
Maybe they need
But
psychological
they don't even
help
think.
and therapy.
You're right, but I don't think they even know that.
But
they
there's
need
parents like that.
help.
I was on TikTok the other day, and like how she was talking about how the dad was making her do the OnlyFans. I was on TikTok, and there was a story about this girl who her father wanted to send her overseas to get married to some wealthy man, so that way he could take care of them. And she said no, and tried to run away. And when both parents found her, they tried to kill her.
Oh my god.
Yeah, they tried to murder her, and she ended up in the hospital
For what they tried to murder
Jesus
her?
Christ.
because she didn't want to marry a wealthy man overseas
it's
to help take
happening
care of the
now.
family.
Okay, so let me tell you this.
There's
That happened
crazy
on
things.
In
a
the Middle
whole,
East, it's happened all the time, by the way.
Aladdin, right? It was similar because they wanted her to marry wealth, and then he had to get a genie, and it was like
Yeah.
his whole story and the whole new world. It was great.
I think they're
They flew off. I mean, shocked how you surprised from that. You know, like I grew up in a mentality. Unfortunately, all the countries that surrounding us, they sometimes buy from the father the daughter since she born. So 7 and 8 years old, they married her with an old man, and she have to do it because their parents already sold her when she was a kid for like sheep or money or whatever it is. But a lot of people in the Middle East literally sell their daughters since they're young, especially the Christian girls, because you know they have less money in the Middle East, so they sell them to wealthy Muslim men.
But it's just crazy
Well-
that families
Yeah, it
put
just-
their children in that predicament.
Yeah.
It sounds like she needs to separate from her family, which is hard for a lot of people to do. But when your family is that toxic, it's just going to spill over on the kid, and the kid is going to be exposed to it, and the kid
Yeah.
has to grow up looking at that favoritism, and that's toxic as hell. So it sounds to
Completely
me
toxic,
like
yeah.
she needs to pick her family up, small as it is, her and her child, and just move on. Those people sound crazy.
Yeah.
They sound crazy.
Yeah, they're
Control
sick.
freaks,
Yeah, they're
yeah.
sick. It's
Because
like it doesn't
imagine,
click in their brains or
imagine,
something.
imagine if she were
It's
to
not
give,
like they control
imagine if she were to give the baby to that daughter. Just imagine like the way they would still treat that other daughter that they don't see as favorable. I mean, like she said, she has to move on.
And the little boy is gonna treat his own mom
Yep.
like dirt,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
and
So-
that would be
Even
no,
worse.
That's even
Let's
worse.
jump into this next one. This next one is my husband left me after I got a termination. My husband has a strong opinion on termination. Never in my life would I think that I would end up getting one, but we accidentally had a pregnancy in our 40s, which shocked us after I had medical care years back. Anyways, I decided to get one, a termination. I just don't want to raise another baby, especially at our age. We just sent our youngest to college. There's no way having a baby at our age is a good idea. I just don't want to do this again at our age. I'm too old to be having a baby. My husband warned me if I got one, he would leave me because he can't love someone that unalived his child. But I wasn't going to continue with this pregnancy, and I got one, a termination. He filed for divorce, and I'm posting this now because our divorce is just now finalized, and this is just a lot for me. What should I do?
Oh my God, I can't believe it.
I feel like
This is another ultimatum situation.
I just feel like, especially for a woman who's older, and if you know that she won't be able to, I mean, starting over is a really big thing. Like when you have kids, like you have to take them to school, you do the baby stage, you do all the stages. But it's like, as a woman, when you're older, like even now that I'm young, when I think about having a baby, that's so much trauma to your body. When you're 40 years old and you've had a child and you've been through all that, I mean, you guys, I mean, if you're not ready for that, I don't feel like it's very unfair to be held to that responsibility to have a child when you have to undergo a lot, especially physically as a woman, especially when you're older. I just feel like it's a lot. It's very unfair to be
Do you
held.
think he's in the wrong for sticking to his guns and saying, don't do this, she did it, and now he's just divorcing her? Do you think he's wrong for that?
I feel it's very unfair. I feel like that's a conversation that they should have had, and like to be very understanding. Maybe
Well, it
even
sounds
with
like they had the conversation, but they
But
didn't come to an agreement.
I mean, that's
think
it's
the whole-
unfair.
I think the topic itself is really difficult to address,
Mm-hmm.
but if he forced that, no, told her, you know what, this is an ultimatum, he's being very selfish himself. And as a woman, again, nobody has a right to tell that specific woman that she can and cannot do what she wants with her body. At the end of the day, it's her that's carrying this child. She's in her late 40s, and women in their late 40s, this is considered like a delicate pregnancy.
Yeah, high risk.
Yeah, sometimes they
High
have you laying down in bed for like 6 months. It's very difficult. So again, it's a really hard topic to talk about because people are always going to give their opinion, and their opinion is going to be the right one and yours is not. But at the end of the day, it's your body, you're the woman. If he feels that way and he strongly acts on that, then let him be, and you move on.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
at the end of the day, he's being selfish, and he's not feeling and knowing what you are.
Yeah.
And if something was to happen to you giving birth to that child, who's going to respond for that child? Who's going to take care of that child? Is that man going to be willing to take care of the child by himself? Is the child going to end up in the system? That's what I'm saying. If you're in your late 40s and you don't want to have a child, it's your choice. Nobody has a right to tell you what you can and cannot do. And again, it's a really hard topic because everybody has their opinion. But I feel he's being selfish, and she did what she felt
Yes,
is right, and I support
Very
her.
selfish, yeah, you're right.
Yeah, it's touchy. It is.
It
And
is.
Yeah.
it all
Very
depends on the
touchy.
couple, too, because, again, we don't know their backstory. We don't know
Anything.
prior conversations. It's just here's somebody saying, hey, this is what happened.
Right. A bunch of people in the chat has a lot of stuff to say. Also, can you, Sheena, can you put your phone
Yes,
down, please?
sorry.
Thank you. Carl's FNAF says, I can understand both sides here. The other one said, Daniel Bricker says, I don't think the wife was the jerk for that situation. These are going back to a bunch of other stories. Okay. What do you guys think? What do you guys think about this whole?
I think that at that age it's high risk for a myriad of reasons. Some birth defects, hurt the woman's health. But again, it's a situation where people have very, very opposite opinions. And if it's that bad, then they need to separate. If he's gonna leave his wife, it's like something that's not even born yet is more important to me than you are. It's basically what he's saying. That's basically what he's saying. So if that's how he feels, then it may be time to separate.
Yeah.
Can I respond to that too?
Go ahead.
I think, yes, what you guys said, it's true that it's a risky pregnancy and everything. But I do think if I was a man and the baby is not in my belly and I cannot control it and I don't want to have a baby, it's also kind of selfish from her to have it in a way. So I think it's tricky situation. They both right, but it's that kind of situation. Even though they both right, it's not really a solution. You just one of them have to compromise. But I wouldn't want to be a man that somebody else take a decision if I'm going to be a father as an older man to a young boy. It's also annoying,
It's
You don't wanna-
difficult because what happens if
difficult.
something happens to you
Exactly.
because you are older, you don't
Yeah.
know what your health is going to
Exactly.
be. What about if you have a massive heart attack? Now this child is alone,
Alone,
and it's
exactly.
going to go into the system or into family. That's what I'm saying. It's a very touchy
tricky, yeah.
subject in all the aspects, but at the end of the day, she can do what she feels is right for her body.
Yeah.
So do you guys all think that it's wrong of the husband to give the ultimatum?
Yes.
In a sense, yeah.
And I guess the husband sees it as the reverse. She's uncompromising about not doing it the other way. So, but they're not equivalent ultimatums, is what you're saying. Is that right?
There's not. I mean, she's the woman. She's the one that's going to carry that
She's gonna
child,
have
not
the
him.
baby.
Right.
She's the one that's going to be laid up for 6 months or through the entire pregnancy. She's the one that's going to have all these issues with her health. At the end of the day, it's her body that's breaking down, not his. And who are you to tell me what I can and cannot do with my own body as a woman? You can't.
Yeah.
I understand that, yes, it's your seed, but at the end of the day, I'm the one that's carrying it.
Yep.
So I think he's being very selfish. And like she said, he's very close-minded. He's not, you don't see the big picture. You only see what you want to see.
Yeah. All right, let's jump into this next one. This next one is a bizarre one. This is a more light-spirited, I guess, type of one right here. This is a guy who just says, does anybody here just go out at night and fight people?
In my
My-
dreams.
It says, my life was boring AF, so I just started going out and fighting random people. I just started putting on a ski mask at first, and when I first started, it was only homeless people. And then it evolved to high school kids.
That's messed up.
And now I'm picking fights with grown men. I even have a nemesis. I beat up the same guy a couple times, and I found out where he works. So I catch him off guard when he gets off of work. He's been posting on Facebook. He's been posting on Facebook about catching me at night and giving me what I deserve. This dude drives around at night with a boomstick, trying to catch me. My life is so much more exciting now that I'm doing this. But am I crazy for doing this?
I think he needs therapy and a hobby. What the heck?
What's that? What was that?
Definitely
what's that
crazy.
Movie? What's that movie
Oh.
where the guy has to wear he creates like a ski mask or something? And
bad butt or something like
where,
that.
where it's like a group of guys
Yeah.
and they create all these like.
There was like this older movie. It was like it's called Jack Butt, something like that. No, not that one. It's what's an older movie.
What was the
name of
question?
movie, but the thing is that they create like this group of people that are vigilantes.
Yeah,
is that what it is?
vigilantes.
And they go out right and they
Oh,
defend all
yeah,
these
yeah.
other people.
Yeah.
But then
I know what you're
there's
talking
one that
What was
becomes
the
like
question?
the mean one.
Yeah.
But if you're gonna do that, then be like a Batman.
No.
You know what I'm saying? Like, just be
He's
like
just
a Batman.
beating
At
him.
least go. You know.
Like this
Like,
Yeah.
one
So
guy,
can
he
someone
keeps on beating.
can someone summarize what it was to Sheena real quick? Just tell.
some
Sheena
dude was bored, so he went out and started beating up people. And now somebody's like out to get him because he's like, oh, this one person keeps beating me up. So now he's like it's just,
The man was going out and beating people because he was bored.
huh? He was
This is
bored.
crazy to explain.
Like, come on, you never got dressed and just went down the block and kicked somebody's butt because you were bored.
Sounds like fun, actually.
It's just like I can't.
But yeah, but it, you
Like a
know,
movie.
Oh my God, I'm beating.
what is this, the Bronx? Right? What is going on?
So nobody can relate to this. Nobody can relate.
No, I mean, I mean,
I just thought it was hilarious. This one guy.
yeah, I mean, again, if you're gonna do it, just do like be a Batman and go after the bad guys. Don't just go beat up random people who come home. with
Does he
food,
live in
huh?
an open carry state? That may be dangerous.
No context.
That may
there.
be dangerous.
He
in
just
an open
says
carry
his,
state.
his life was boring AF
That's a
until
funny-
he started doing this.
Yeah, but he shouldn't be keep on picking on the same guy. Just beat him up.
Yeah, but now it's like a fun target
Wait, he was beating one guy at the time?
because now the guy's looking for
Poor
him.
guy.
But now to him it's like a game. He's like, haha, hide and seek.
This guy's
Yeah.
life is
Tag
falling
without-
apart. He's
yeah.
getting beat
That's
up all the
crazy.
time.
He's definitely
All right,
a
well,
jerk.
If
Yeah, he's a
nobody
jerk.
has any relatable stories, let's jump on to this next one. This is
Weird.
another back in the relationship dynamics type of realm. I'm a 23-year-old male. My girlfriend is a 21-year-old female, and she likes male attention. And it ends with worse. Any advice on how to move forward? So my girlfriend, 21-year-old female, and I, 23-year-old male, have been together for over a year. While I deeply care for her, I'm struggling with a pattern of risky situations that she finds herself in. She was closing up at the store where she works when she met two sloshed guys around her age. She felt a strong responsibility to help them get home safely, as she believes in doing for others what she'd hope someone would do for her. For context, we don't drink, but we occasionally use herb. So we always make sure we're in a safe space or have a way to get home. While she was walking them home, one of the guys kept hitting on her, and the other one kept repeatedly touching her despite her discomfort. It got to the point that a completely random stranger, a young woman, ran up, took my girlfriend's hand, and asked if she was okay. Instead of taking this as a warning, my girlfriend reassured this stranger that she, quote, had it under control and continued escorting them both home. Then she chose to stay with them for a UFC watch party with these people she didn't know until late into the night. What do I do?
Get her mental health.
I mean,
Send her to her mama.
Why couldn't she just call an Uber and send him home?
Because she enjoyed it. Yeah.
She said that
I
she
think
would want people to do what.
No,
don't-
I think that she just enjoys doing risky things.
yeah, and the attention.
And
The
that's-
adrenaline
Be on the
rush.
edge, yeah. That's,
I mean,
So-
there's an
sounds like
alternative.
it.
I feel as a young girl, I wouldn't go with people that I don't know and stay for a UFC party. If I knew these guys were drunk and messed up, like I wouldn't go off with two random guys I don't know and stay for a party. I would probably tell my boyfriend or call my boyfriend or someone else, a man around there, and try to help them get home safely or help them call somebody to help them come get them.
Get an
But-
Uber. There's Ubers.
or call Uber, Lyft,
So-
but to go home with two.
Does anyone think that she had just pure intentions?
No.
Yes.
I
You
can
do.
see- I can
Okay,
see-
let's hear this.
Who, the girl? Pure intentions or what? Who
The
are you
reason,
talking about?
the reason
Pure
why I say
intentions.
the reason
No,
why I
but
say
who?
yes is because I know right off top two women that are like that back in New York.
How so?
I'm not gonna say their names, but everywhere we went, they were overly friendly with everybody, and I think they were trying to be like the person they needed in their life. So they overcompensate and they
Yeah.
talk to strangers, and I'm like, "Who's this guy? Oh, he needed blah blah." And I'm like, "You don't even know him. What are you doing?" So I think some women, maybe she's doing it for attention. I don't know, but some women do have pure intentions, and
So
I know 2 girls like that automatically just.
would those 2
popped in my
girls
head.
stay for the UFC party?
Yes.
Really?
And
Yes.
I'm gonna tell you something. I agree with you. I agree with you that she's probably has pure intentions, but at the same time, she knows what she's doing because she wants that attention. So it's like kind of yes and the no, because yes, it's pure intentions in the sense that you're not gonna go and be intimate with these people and maybe go into the next issue or whatever, right? But you know that you're gonna get attention from them. So she's doing it to be helpful and so forth, but at the same time, she knows she's getting the
She likes the
attention from
thrill.
them. Exactly. So she likes it.
I mean, albeit these women are a liability,
Yeah.
right? Because
Yeah,
they
exactly.
get you,
Yeah.
they get you in certain
It's true.
situations. But I know 2 women popped in my head automatically. And
Yeah.
and we would be walking. I'm like, who is that? They were homeless and they need. I'm like, what are you doing? Like, we were hanging out. Yeah,
So-
so yeah, some people are like that. But.
Somebody from the chat, Kylie, says, sorry about that, but if she likes male attention, be careful because the next thing you know, you're single questioning everything. So,
I mean, it's like she said, it's pure intentions because she's trying to, quote unquote, help them. But at the same time, she knows that by helping them, she's gonna get attention from both of them.
so it's like 2
So
for
it's-
1.
so
You get
yeah,
a 2
so
for
it's
1
Because
like-
maybe she need to feel needed, you know?
Okay.
Like a lot of.
Then that's something like a personal issue that you have to kind of go and
Yeah.
resolve that somewhere else
Yeah.
and not with men.
Yeah, because it's dangerous.
Yeah.
It's dangerous.
Yeah, yeah. So it's interesting that it sounds like the boyfriend obviously does not like this. I mean, he wrote this whole thing about this, and it's unclear if he's talked to her about this, but it sounds like this is something she just does, but I don't understand why
I don't think she's gonna
she's not
stop
talking
because
about it.
I think if
I
her
don't think she's
boyfriend
gonna
was
stop.
if her boyfriend were strong mentally and an alpha male, it would never happen. Just because his boyfriend is a sim.
no, I honestly
She,
In
can
America.
she know that she can do what she wants,
no,
so
no.
she get away with that. You know what I mean? Because he knows he's weak.
I disagree with you.
Why?
Because I disagree, and I'll tell you why. Okay, because she's her own person, and she's her own, and I can tell her don't do X, Y, and Z, but then it's
It's not
she's
the
her
same
own
in a
person.
relationship of men and women.
No, I understand, but you're your own person. You can decide what you're going to do, regardless if you have a really strong man. And there's
No, but
very,
let me
very
ask you a
strong
question.
alpha man. But at the same time, you have a choice in what you want to do.
But
So
you-
even if my husband tells me, Maritza, you can't do this, do you know what I'm going to say? Yeah, I am going to do it. You want to know why? Because I want to do it. Absolutely. Absolutely.
No, if my
I
husband
respect
tell me,
my
I respect it.
respect my partner, but at the end of the day, I'm my own person. And
No,
I'm
but-
not going to bend backwards because you want me to bend backwards
But what,
because of what
but,
yours.
but I want to ask
No.
you a question.
So she's gonna continue doing what she feels is right,
But-
because she likes the attention.
But
doesn't
can I
mean
say,
it's okay,
wait?
though.
But can I
You know,
say
but it
something to
doesn't
you?
mean that it's
doesn't mean
okay.
it's
But
okay.
can I say something to you? When a man, okay, let's talk about me. If I have a husband, okay, and I would do what this girl do, like your friend that you talked about, right? And I would go and talk to this one and this one when I'm in a relationship, right? And my husband tell me, listen, honey, it's dangerous. I don't like it. I don't appreciate you going and doing this. Please respect me. Don't do that. I wanna respect my man, and my man do it because he protects me, because he cares about me. He doesn't tell me no because he wanna be demeaning or tell me no, you don't do this.
No, no, no. I
He's
understand.
worried about
That's
me,
what
and I
she
want to.
said. I
I want
understand
to.
that.
But wait, let me finish. I want to recognize me as a woman. I always, when I'm in a relationship, I want to recognize when my man say that either because he's super jealous or crazy or like telling me things, or because he want to protect me and he doesn't want me to do stupid things. That's the only
No,
thing.
that's what she said, but she's also saying that if the girl wants to do it, she's still going to continue to do it because that's what she wants to
Of
do.
course,
But that's what
doesn't mean-
fulfills her.
But that doesn't
you know?
mean
I know,
that-
maybe
but
just
that's
me,
Not,
I-
but that's not okay though. We
You're
know it's
right.
not okay. It's not right. But if she wants to continue doing it, she's gonna do it because she wants to. But we all know it's not okay.
Maybe you guys right. I don't know. Maybe it's me, my personality, because
no,
I realize
but it's true. But
no,
we
but wait-
agree with you in,
no,
this,
but
in,
wait,
that,
I-
in that
I
aspect
wanna
that
say
she
something else.
shouldn't do that. But it
I
makes
realize-
her happy. You know.
Wait, but I realize when I talk to women in general, like in a lot of podcasts, I think I'm a little bit, maybe it's just me or how I grew up, I don't know. But for me, I enjoy when my men tell me, like, don't do this or do this or cook for me or do for me. For me, it's like joyful. I'm excited when he would tell me something like
But
that.
you said you don't like when women are property of men. You're behaving like
I
property of
didn't
men.
say that?
Yeah, you said that. You
Wait a
said
minute.
that if a woman takes money from a man, right, then a woman's not property.
not
You
the
can't just
same.
buy one. No,
It's not the same.
if you're submissive
If you
to
married,
the point.
wait.
No, if
You
you're
asked me a
submissive
question,
to
let
the
me
point, I didn't ask you anything. I said if you're
what I
submissive to the point where I like when my man says, cook for me, do
Yes,
this, do
of
that,
course.
don't do this, do that. Then you're proper. You're like a dog. Hey,
No, I'm
come
not
over
a dog.
here.
No.
Yeah, it's
No.
it's like property. If she
No.
doesn't, if you don't have your own
But when
wherewithal,
you married, listen to me. When you married in my religion, I know in your religion. When you married in my religion, you're the property of the man. I'm the
Oh,
property
wait,
of
what?
my man.
oh no, girl.
And not for Chanel bag.
I'm going back
Not for Chanel
My mom
bag.
was definitely not
free.
property of my dad.
was
My mom was like, see ya.
So you're not property for a Chanel bag, so you're property for free.
For men, yeah, for my man.
For free.
It's
You're
not
All the
property
men
for
watching
free.
this,
But
let me
money
get her
doesn't
number.
replace values.
That's
It's,
when you
not,
can cheat, too.
it's for the values I'm his property. He loves me, protects me, provide for me, do for me. I'm his property. Yes, why not? I'm not ashamed. I'm proud.
At the end of the day,
But
the question
this
was
is weird.
Yeah, at
It's
the end
not
of the day,
weird.
the question was
I'm not. Wait, I want to answer her for a second because it's important to me that you understand it.
So when he
You
proposes,
mix
will you
into-
be my
Wait,
property?
wait. You mix in two different things. You
Yeah,
think
give me
if a
Cheetos.
man, wait, let me explain to her. It's really important to me. You think that if a man would spend money on me or buy stuff for me, I'm not talking about a husband. I'm talking about a boyfriend, and then he owns me. No, because when I go to a relationship, I was married for 11 and a half years. My man was everything for. He's my king. Everything he wants from me, I will do for him. My mission is to make him happy. But I'm not gonna meet a random guy just because he have money and he's a little bit attractive. I sleep with him because he can provide for me and buy for me. If it's not a man that I know that I have a meaningful, deep relationship, I don't want to be with him. I don't care how much money he have. You know how many men with money? He told me I don't care about their money. I need to be in love. I need to know that he's the man of my life. He's my husband. He's my life. He's my king. He's everything for me. That's how I see it, personal. Maybe
Okay,
I'm-
so you
maybe I'm
sound
fucked, but it's me.
No, you sound traditional. I'm also a traditional woman. However, the women that you were criticizing that sleep with men for money have more freedom than your husband, than you with your husband, because he can tell you when to cook,
But
when to
I
do,
don't
what
need
to say,
freedom
what not to
when
do.
I'm in marriage. Listen, I tell you something. I give up my career any day if I meet the right man. I swear to God, I'm not just telling you. If I meet the right man,
I think it's time for me to go.
no,
I gotta go.
maybe I'm
All right,
crazy, but if I meet the
let's
right man, I would.
let's jump into the next one here. Let's go. Before we do, some people in the chat. If someone is sloshed, my first instinct is to back away. But yes, was in the right. We got one that says it's unwise to do this. The attention she looks for could be dangerous. Somebody else says if she wants to open the door for her to potentially get kidnapped and she's willing to continue that, well, that's on her. Yes, but she shouldn't do this because she doesn't want to be in danger, even if she wants the attention. Then somebody just says nobody is property. Then somebody else says, it goes on and on.
Always
Next
a
one.
safe way to do things as
Yeah.
well.
Next one here, we got jumping topics again. My wife resents me for being a stay-at-home dad. Originally, it was planned for my wife to be a stay-at-home mom because she feels that it's a woman's job to stay at home with the kids and be prenatal and post-bonding with the baby after birth. It's more for a mother than it is essential for a father. But I got laid off from my job last year, so our plans changed. I wasn't able to find another job that fast, so I'm the one that became the stay-at-home dad. Our baby is 20 months old now, and I've been a stay-at-home dad for almost 2 years. My wife hates it. She doesn't just hate it because she feels like I robbed her opportunity of being a homemaker, but she hates that I'm sitting at home doing nothing all day and not providing a paycheck. I am not sitting at home all day doing nothing. I'm taking care of our son, I'm cleaning, I'm cooking, I'm taking care of the cats and dogs. She would literally be doing the exact same thing as me if she was a stay-at-home mom, but she just has this negative view because it's ingrained in her head that I'm useless to her if I'm not providing a paycheck. What do I do? My wife resents me for being a stay-at-home dad.
It's not about the paycheck. It's not about the paycheck. She lost respect for him. That's it.
It's not
That's
wrong
what
with it. I mean,
happened.
if a dude ends up, I know stay-at-home dads. I mean, if the wife has a good job and she's working and he's taking care of the kids and the cats and the dogs, I mean,
he's American.
you know, yeah. I mean, why stereotype him and you're gonna make fun of him? I mean, he's still providing,
So that's sweet.
but you want your
However,
dude to be like, go to work.
That's sweet. However, it's a slippery slope. It's one thing for a guy to have a tough time. He lost his job, fine. But a year now, and now you're Mr. Mom, it is a turnoff. And I
what
say
I mean.
this,
Major turnoff.
I say this to men and women. Your spouse, your significant other is going out in the world and meeting people and knowing people. So you bear in mind, Your wife is going to her job. Her boss is there. I said this before. Her boss is there. Her coworkers and everybody's looking masculine. And then she comes home. You're like, honey, I learned a new cupcake. And it's like, oh,
I went to Pilates.
right. Like, it's a slippery slope. Like, yeah, you can fall on hard times, but you got to men got to get up.
no.
It's not
get
attractive
to
at
it.
all.
I mean, I know
Wait,
a
do
stay-at-home
you all
dad
feel
in
the
the
same way?
Yeah, me
Yes.
personally, no, I could not.
You
I
couldn't
would
do it.
lose all respect for my man.
Really?
Honestly, I won't
What
see
if,
him as
he was
masculine
what if he
anymore.
was injured or something?
Well, that's a whole different story. That's
Okay.
a whole
There's
different topic. But you're telling me that in 2 years you can't find a job? No, that means that you're lazy and you're content and you want to be doing that.
Yeah.
And honestly, you're not a man anymore. It's just like you're just put on the dress.
What
you
what
know?
happens? What happens in a situation where, let's say, the wife is making 4 times the amount of money the
It
husband
doesn't
makes?
matter. It doesn't matter.
But then you'd be okay with the household income dropping by
No.
75%?
Doesn't mean she
Okay,
doesn't have
if the woman makes 4 times more than the husband, okay, that doesn't mean that he stays home.
Get out of
He
the
can
house.
still go
That's the point.
and make a paycheck, even if it's less than hers. He's still making a living. He's still bringing money in. He still is looked as a man and respected as
being
a
a
man.
man.
You're not at home just waiting for your wife to pay your bills. I'm sorry. Me personally, I know people are gonna probably have
No,
their
you're
opinions
right.
on
I
what
agree
I
with
have
you
to say,
100%.
but I couldn't be. I'd rather have
not
my
attracted.
husband make $7 an hour and have a job than not make 1 cent.
Yeah.
Even if I make $60, $80 an
So,
hour,
but
right?
would you be okay with nobody staying home for the kid then?
Well,
But both parents working?
no.
There's
I
a
mean,
kindergarten.
that's okay. When the baby is born,
Kindergarten.
I think the mom should stay with the baby because
Yeah.
it's a
So then
bond.
you're gonna have a big
breastfeeding and
income
so
But
income
you
drop
know what?
then.
There's
Yeah,
also-
You're
but
okay
it's
with that?
only going to be for 3 months. You kind of.
But there's also jobs where women can work during the day and men can work during the night. You guys trade off shifts with the kids.
Absolutely. There's always a way to
when my
fix
parents
this.
were together, when my little brother was born, my mom would work during the day, my dad was at home with my brother, and then at night my dad went off to work, my mom's at home with us. So it's like you can still be a man and still take care of your kid, and you can still go to work and just like
And the kids can still be at home with mom
there's
and
always,
dad. But
there can still be a balance.
it's just seeing the man going to work. I don't know.
As long as you're
It's-
trying to provide.
You know,
for
even
your
if they
woman,
make minimum wage, it's not the point of how much money you make, is
That
that
you're
you're
trying.
providing for your family.
Yeah.
That's my thought. You know, maybe other people are going to think.
No, you're
What,
right.
what, what about the situation where, let's say, this is a rare situation, but if they were both fantastically wealthy already, they didn't need to work. The money wasn't an option, but would you still want the man to be going out, or
No, absolutely not. If we're both rich, there's no reason. There's no
Right.
need for it.
So that doesn't make a
You
difference.
know what it is? Then we're gonna enjoy our child together, and we're gonna travel and
Travel,
do
do
everything
fun,
because
yeah.
why? The
It's true.
income is there. We're not stressing over paying the rent, the car, the medical bills, the medical insurance. It's
But
already
wouldn't
there.
you be stressing if the woman was making 4 times as much and then you're down to $7 an hour, like you said?
But you
That
gotta
would still be a
understand, if
stress.
we're having a child, that means that I'm preparing in advance to cover for that time that I'm going to be off. Either I can work from home during that time and still be with my child, or the company can offer some type of family leave and so forth. So if that woman is making 4 times more than the husband, that means that she has a little bit of a brain and she's going to prepare herself for when she's out of work to take care of that child, even if the husband's making $7 an hour, right?
All right, so
Also, in
so-
your scenario where both are wealthy, he still has to bring masculine energy. And masculine energy is not just money.
regardless
Yeah,
if he's working or not.
Exactly.
Regardless if he's working, he still has to have
Exactly.
masculine energy. Once a woman starts feeling like
Yeah.
she's with her equal,
Or she's more masculine
let-
than
yeah.
the
She
husband.
loses the respect. She loses
and
interest.
when
she
women
loses
work,
attraction.
to help a household, we get in our masculine already.
Exactly.
So coming home to someone who's just like, hey, the baby spit up twice today, it's just like it's a turn on.
Yeah.
Oh man, I'm always complaining about when
I
my wife.
wouldn't
I'm
wanna
like, the
sleep
dog
with
pooped. I was like, I was gonna get it, but then, I forgot.
Yeah, no.
All right, let's jump into this next one. We're coming up on the end of these right now, the last couple, and this is a short one though. Am I the jerk for wanting to? This is actually kind of parallels one of the earlier ones, but am I the jerk for wanting to break up with my boyfriend because he's pro-life? That's pretty much it. I'm 19. He's also almost 19, and we've been in a relationship for 1 year. He says termination is murder, and women should only be allowed it if they are R-worded. He says that he also wouldn't support me if I needed one. He says, I am brainwashed for being pro-choice. This entire situation has made me rethink who I spent 1 year of my life with. He refuses to educate himself and do research on the topic because he believes he is right. I want to leave, but I need to know that this is actually a very valid reason to do so.
I feel like as a 19-year-old, if you're thinking about, as a boy, 19-year-old boy, if you're thinking about your 19-year-old girlfriend getting pregnant and thinking it's wrong for her to get rid of it, is he even working when you're 19? Are you even financially stable to have a baby? Are you even like mentally ready? You're not. You're still a kid. I've always been, your body, your choice. It's always you're as the woman who carries the child, like it's your choice, it's your body. But I feel like as a man, like there's so many things you have to look at too. When you're 19, you're not even ready to have a baby. Like, what do you? You're probably not even in college yet. You're still going to school. Like, what
So
are you even
use
talking
protection.
about?
Use protection.
Exactly. Take care of yourself. Use protection. Use birth control. I mean, I feel like, I don't know.
Yeah, but if you're already at 19 thinking that,
That's kind of.
and it's like if you're
That's kinda
already
scary.
like and then also if you're already hesitant because of views, then it's just don't go into it further. Because
Sounds like he's young, so it sounds like he's being influenced somewhere.
Yeah.
But again, it was only a year is 12 months. She's like, oh, I spent a year at exit.
Yeah,
Like, you're still a baby.
You know what my mom
Exit.
says? My mom says at 19 you still don't know how to wipe your butt. So
Amongst
That's
other
true.
things.
my mom says that. She's like, if you're 19, you don't even know how to wipe your butt. So how are you gonna make a baby? How are you gonna raise a baby? You know? And then to tell somebody you can't have a baby or you're forced to have the baby. Again, topic is very touchy, but at the end of the day, it's your body, you decide. And I would leave him. I'm doing
I would
you know what,
leave.
12. You're right. 12
Who do
months
you
is 12
think
Yeah.
months.
that's what to do?
All right, well, let's jump straight into this next one right here. We got, my husband seems to think he funds my lifestyle. My husband, who's a 39-year-old male, and I am a 39-year-old female, we've been married for nearly 10 years. We have a 4-year-old daughter. I wrote a graphic novel and finally found a publisher for it. I can't draw, so I paid a friend to illustrate it and another friend to do the lettering. I paid for the entire thing myself. My husband did not contribute financially, and I did not ask him for any money. I am also in my final semester of grad school, which I also paid for myself. I did not ask my husband for any money, and I am working part-time. My husband and I were talking about my graphic novel, and he mentioned being, quote, a silent investor in it. When I asked him what he meant, he mentioned contributing to its completion. I told him I paid for the entire thing myself and that I never even asked him for money. And he said, quote, well, I keep a roof over your head.
He's right.
I was extremely upset by this. It's true that he makes more money than I do, and that covers the bulk of the household expenses, but I felt like he was belittling me and implying that my graphic novel is just a silly pipe dream. When I got upset, he apologized. And then he tried to backpedal and say that he was joking. I'm still really angry though. So what do I do about my husband seeming to think that he funds my lifestyle?
Can I respond to that?
Go ahead.
So first of all, I think her husband have truth in what he said, because if you don't have easy living, like somebody pay your rent, do your thing, you're not gonna have the opportunity to go and write your novel and spend money on it, right? Like if she was struggling to make payments for a house and car and food and everything, she wouldn't even have the chance to think about a novel. So he's writing away, but he shouldn't put it on her face, because if you're a couple and she want to do something, she should do it and not be afraid and calculate everything. I paid for this, I didn't pay for that. It's your husband, for heaven's sake. He should give her that opportunity to accomplish her stuff.
Especially if she's paying for it all by herself, and that's
Exactly.
that's her own accomplishment. I mean,
Yeah.
as a husband, you're a provider.
Exactly.
You're supposed to provide a home for your wife, and if your wife goes to school and does this and that, and she pays for it, that's her accomplishment. And for him to backpedal and say it's a joke, there's always truth in little jokes like that, or when people
Yes.
try to degrade you in that way, there's always some kind of truth to it.
There's something that's bothering him.
There's something else he probably feels kind of like, in a way, maybe he's a little jealous that she's getting this big break, or she's doing something more for herself. He might feel like she might leave him behind if she becomes more accomplished. Like, these little
Or
things
maybe
like that.
or maybe he wanted to get recognition for him supporting her, so she have the opportunity to do that, and she doesn't give him that recognition that he's giving her that.
But it's time and place. It's time and place. Yes, he is providing for her, so that is a fact. But before you speak, you have to think, should this be said, and should I be saying it, and should I be saying it right now?
Yeah.
So it sounded like a butthole move, like a dig at her. But he apologized. He said it was a joke. She's still going to be upset about it, but at least they've begun to communicate about it. But he is providing, he is providing for her. And you have to know when something's really important to somebody else. And I think we've all had that butthole moment where it's like, oh, your little idea or your little, business or your little, and it's not really malicious, but like you said, there is some truth to how we're thinking about that other person.
Sometimes you just want acknowledgement for the hard work that you've done.
Yeah.
Right.
Because he is providing where she's able to do her
That's
dream.
fine,
Yeah.
but it was just not the right time
But
for him
don't
to
say
it.
that. Don't say that.
Especially when it's like her big moment and she finally found an author.
And she feels like she's
She
she's
feels
glowing,
accomplished, she
and
feels good,
Sometimes you
and-
do
Yeah,
want
then
that
you make her
pat on
feel
the back
bad.
and say,
for your
"Good job."
husband to
Yeah.
sit there and say,
Yeah.
"Oh well, I was the one that was able to do all this for you." Like
That he's taking credit.
Yeah.
You
like,
wrote the
okay,
book, but
like, you chose to be my husband. You chose to marry me. You chose to provide for me. You chose to do this for me. So why are you throwing it in my face now that I've been able to accomplish something with that? It's messed up.
Somebody from the chat says if it is his house, food, etc., then yes. But if she's the one paying for it, then don't say that. He is hiding something.
What?
Okay.
she wrote the
What-
book
he's
about
hiding
him.
something,
I just think
yeah.
that she wanted to be acknowledged. I think she wanted to be acknowledged
It
for
was
the
her
hard
moment.
work that she was doing, and at that moment, because she felt so proud of herself for something that she had accomplished herself, in the sense that yes, you are getting a house and food and so forth, but you paid out of your part-time job for that accomplishment. So you feel proud of yourself. So at that moment, he should have given her that, and he didn't. He reminded her. What her place was,
Yep.
and
Yeah.
in reality, it's not. You can't do that because you're in a relationship. As a woman, we understand that yes, if I'm working part time, I know my place. You don't have to remind me my place. You don't have to remind me what you provide for me. I want you to acknowledge that what I'm doing is for us, and this accomplishment is not just for me; it's for us. So give it to me.
Let her have her. Big
Let me
moment.
have that. Let me have that glory. But at that moment, he took it from her. So absolutely, she has a right to feel,
Upset.
upset
Even if
and
he
sad and hurt.
apologizes.
But
even
there's
if
some
he's-
charge there. There's some charge there behind what he did.
Yeah.
There's some charge there. He's feeling either unappreciated, or so there's something there.
That's why he
there's,
said it.
There's like what you say and then what
Yeah.
you're thinking about, but he still shouldn't have taken that moment from her. That was cruel.
Or maybe he's
Yeah.
feeling upset as well because he's paying everything and she's not
She
contributing
gets
at the
to-
same time. So there is something that's bothering him that he's not saying
And
to
even
her.
if
Yeah.
he says sorry, it's kind of like a dig at her and her big moment.
You already said it. You already did it. You can't take it
Yeah,
back.
once you say something, you can't take it back.
Yeah.
And once it's taken a certain way, to try to recover that.
And also a very important point, change is scary to someone who's used to seeing you a certain type of way.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Right. So he's used to being the provider and you're the little woman at home, the moment you start glowing a little bit a different way, it does make men nervous. I've seen it. I've experienced it. And then they try to belittle you to bring you back.
Exactly.
You know what I
Especially
mean?
you're
'Cause
kind of dimming their light, and they don't like that.
And
They
it makes
wanna-
them nervous. Change is
Yeah,
a lot of
absolutely.
couples can't change with the relationship.
Absolutely.
Makes them nervous, and it's like, let me bring her back down to the place where I'm used to
Scared to
seeing
lose
her.
you as well.
Yeah,
Instead of wanting
yeah.
to
Do you-
grow
Absolutely
with
right.
you,
Do
they
Do you
want
think
to
that
punish you.
do you think that he maybe feels like unappreciated or something like that? Like I provided
Yeah,
this whole
absolutely.
situation,
Absolutely.
and but he just expressed it in an unhealthy
Yeah.
way, I guess.
Yeah.
Because
I mean,
that was
how
the-
else
Be
can you-
anything.
That
yeah.
was the moment for him to be able to blur that out because
Yeah.
he was holding it in, and it was the right moment for him to blur it out. And he did take it back because he didn't want to make her feel bad. But at the end of the day, it is what it is. You're resentful for her being able to do this, and now she's dimming your light, and that's pissing you off because she needs to know her place. She needs to go back to where she was because
Yeah.
she's not growing more than you, and that's what it is.
Daniel in the chat says, if he didn't do anything to directly help her, then he shouldn't complain, says Daniel.
And I experienced that personally in a relationship where during that time, I was in entertainment and I was acting and I booked a really good gig. And I got into, a verbal altercation with the guy in my life at the time, and he just started blurting out, "Oh, you're gonna end up in Hollywood on cocaine wearing sunglasses." I'm like, dude, I don't even smoke. You got me on cocaine. I'm like, you went from here to already got me in Hollywood.
Maybe he was afraid to lose you.
He was very much so. He lost me anyway, but
He lost you anyway.
yeah, people
because
panic.
of this, they lost you, maybe.
Even without
Yeah.
the cocaine,
People
he lost you. Like,
Yeah, no. People panic and
She didn't
they'll
make it
break
Hollywood.
you down.
Tell
Yeah.
us that I'm prostitute in Hollywood with cocaine.
Jeez, I was like, where did this come from? But it comes from a nervousness of I don't
From
want
low
you to
self-esteem.
change.
From insecurity.
I was scared, I was scared that you leave him.
Gotta watch for that.
But a lot of men like that. I had a boyfriend like that for 3.5 years, terrorizing me. Every text message is like, I'm cheating, I'm this. I'm like, I can't. Yeah.
Let's jump into the last one now. This is the last one of the night.
Uh-oh.
Big thank you to Scottish. I just others. Where is it? Go up a little more. Scottish says, I don't know where it is. I just lost it, but it was something like this is officially his most listened to podcast of the year. So thank you so much, Scottish. Appreciate that, man. Let's end this
nice.
jumping into the final story
Uh-oh.
of the night. And obviously, if you guys have another personal story, you can share it afterwards. But this is the last of the.
Here we
submissions.
go. I met an alien.
I would love to hear about that.
wait, you too?
We got a sushi. Everybody thought he's cool.
He's not American.
Here we go. Last story is
Oh my god.
how can I
love
go
America,
back?
Don't get me wrong.
Hang on, China. How can I go back to my husband? I divorced my husband out of group influence last year in 2023. I started working as a nurse, and my friends told me that I could do without a man. So I got motivated by my friends, and I left my husband. As I'm talking to you, 2 of my friends who advised me to leave my marriage got married themselves recently. I feel lonely, and I can't find another man. So far, I have dated 5 men, and they just use my body and then go. These men, despite dating me, they have never respected me owing to the fact that I'm not that attractive because I'm in my 30s. What?
What?
Wait, let me read this again.
Wait,
These
what?
men, despite dating me, they have never respected me owing to the fact that I'm not that attractive because I'm in my 30s. That's what it says.
Oh my god.
One of my boyfriends got married to a young girl recently, leaving me heartbroken. I'm tired, and I need to be in my house with my loving husband. My actions were out of immaturity and wrongful advice from evil friends. I realize my mistakes. How can I convince him, my ex-husband, to allow me back? How can I persuade my ex-husband? Advise me, please. How can I go back to my husband?
That's a very weak-minded woman. If you let your friends convince you to leave your man, what the heck?
But if they were true friends,
If
they
they were-
wouldn't give you that advice.
Yeah.
And honestly, there is, and it's sad to say, but there is a lot of women that want to be around you and act like they're your friends because they want to be you.
Yeah.
They want to have what you have. And slowly they try to influence you to break you and take away what you have. And this is what happened to her. So,
They were envious.
you know, and then what do you mean she's unattractive because she's 30?
She's probably just not married.
I-
She's
I
probably
read it
just
twice.
You
to make
never-
sure
you
that's what it
guys-
said.
Probably
That's what it
just
said.
You never, we never know
I
what
don't
she
think- I
said
don't
to them.
think-
Maybe she said something to them.
I don't care how.
about her
I don't care
husband.
the age of a woman. A woman's never unattractive.
No.
It's how you carry yourself.
Yes.
It's
It's how you take care of
I
It's
yourself.
how
agree.
you. Yeah, exactly.
I agree.
There's women my age, 47. There's women in their 50s. They're absolutely stunning and beautiful because they take care of themselves. They carry themselves well. Your age has nothing to do with you getting a man. The reason why you're not getting a man is because you feel so bad about yourself that that's the vibe that you're giving out. You should actually go and take a look at yourself and try to get yourself together to find yourself a good man and not try to go back to the one you let go because of your quote unquote friends.
Get your
I
priorities
think
straight.
a
Yeah.
lot of, because I know few women actually that it's happened to them, that they were divorced because of friends, also my clients. And usually it's women that they go and cry to their friend, oh, he did this, he did that, he's doing this. And then they said, so why do you need him? Separate with him. If he did this, he did that. And then when they get divorced, they stay with nothing. Like they stay alone. Especially like when she's in her 30s, she's not so, old. But I'm saying when you're in your 50s, 40s, 60s, you don't listen. I had a client, she was in her 60s and she got divorced from her husband because of her friend. And they said, I'm alone. I'm sitting alone at home. I'm eating alone. I'm doing breakfast alone. And for what? For my girlfriend that she's like he said, she's dating other men and doing other things. think it's stupid.
It's one thing to go to your friends and complain about your man to your friends, like, oh my God, I hate him, whatever. But it's another to go and use whatever they're saying to go and base your decision off of being with him, off of what they're saying.
Those aren't friends.
That's
Exactly.
not, no.
Yeah, they would tell you don't get divorced because it's nothing out there meaningful. You already
But you
built.
can-
So, what do you guys think of this concept that's all over the internet of women hitting the wall? Have you heard of this before? And if so, do you
Yeah,
think
I've
it's
heard
real?
of
Is
that.
it
I
not
heard
real?
about it.
Tell
Pretty
me
lot.
what that mean
What
exactly.
does that mean?
It's a very misogynistic view of women. Older women have less value, basically.
No.
You hit the wall. Like, it's really for athletes. Like, the saying is really for athletes. Like, you can no longer box the same way or run the same way, run track the same way. So via podcasting, the negative misogynistic podcasting, they started saying that to women to describe women like, oh, nobody wants you because you're 40 or 50 or whatever. You hit the wall. And as podcasting grows, they're making the age younger and younger and younger. So
they don't
before
know-
it was 40s, 50s, 30s. Now it's like you're not at 25. You're not
I've
as
heard
attractive
that.
as
But
an
you know what?
18-year-old.
They don't understand
Actually,
that
the
the
older
older
woman,
the
more
woman
attractive, I
is,
think.
the more sensual she is and the more attractive and the more elegant she is because she knows herself and she knows her
Exactly.
body and she knows what she wants.
That's the real world.
Yeah.
So in reality, the men that say
real
that, I'm sorry, the men that say that
It's
probably
men that
have
didn't
little
get good
ones
women.
And they're losers.
and can't really get a woman that knows herself.
I want.
Because in reality, when you get older, you know what you want. You know what you want in that room. You know what you want from that man. And you carry yourself with elegance. You carry yourself with this amazing vibe.
But that's
And,
what they mean.
you
They
know,
mean because you know yourself, because you know what you want. Because I heard
Yes,
it a
because
few
they're-
times.
and
They
it's
don't
like
want
they're
you because you're
intimidated.
opinionated, and they
Because
don't
it's
want you to be
intimidated.
opinionated.
And
That's the
usually
problem.
it's the men who say that women hit the wall are usually the men that can't
They
even
have
get a
no
woman.
ones.
Like, they can't even get
Yes.
a woman. They can't even get a woman.
It's like Andrew
They will
Tate. He
get
was the
filler.
man that no woman wanted
Yeah.
him, and now
Let's,
when he's
the-
strong, he's like.
Real quick, the chat wants to jump in. The chat says, first, I would cut off, going back to the original story, first, I would cut off these friends as well for telling those men off, but basically tell him that you were influenced by toxic people. So this person thinks that Bricker says that telling him that you were influenced by toxic people, do you guys think that would get him back? I don't
No,
know.
she
No.
has to charge
I
it to the
I
game.
think
Charge
she
it to
said
the
it's
game.
been a year, right? She said that's been
She
a
might
year.
need theirs. I mean,
yeah, it says last year. 2023 is when it
So
happened.
if he hasn't gone back with her, that means he doesn't want her. She
Yeah.
needs to get herself together. She needs to regroup
needs to
and
move
just
on.
get herself in order.
He
to
shouldn't
be able
take
to
her
move
back.
on.
Yeah,
He shouldn't
no,
take her
no.
back.
If he's,
She
if
needs
he's
to love
alpha male,
herself.
will not take her back
Yeah,
after
she
she's
needs to
divorced.
really
That's
get a
the
hold of
problem.
herself.
She needs to
work
love
on
herself. She needs to love herself. She needs to get herself in the right mindset. There's no way that a man's going to want to be with somebody who's already
I like- you don't
influenced
like
by
alpha
their
male,
friends
I
to
love
leave
alpha
them.
And we got another one from Kylie that says, the thing is you had a choice but decided to leave. Don't bring that man any more pain for what you have done.
Exactly.
Right.
And no more chances. He loved you for you and you ruined that.
He's probably with somebody
Then-
else right now.
Cars
Yeah.
says the OP needs to find a new mindset
Yeah,
Probably
to
with the
keep her
50-year-old
strong.
woman who knows what she wants.
the American woman.
And she's American.
Here.
All right. Well, if you guys have any last thoughts on that, we're gonna close it out right now. If you guys have any last thoughts on the story, everybody's good. Is that what you wanted to say?
We're good.
Yeah.
All right. Let's do a outro. If you guys want to say goodbye, you can say your link or whatever. But no, I don't know. I don't know any contacts, but no non-YouTube safe links, of course. So let's keep to Instagram or YouTube.
Is somebody on
Yeah.
OnlyFans here?
I don't know. All right. Thank you for coming,
I don't have
everybody.
one.
First of all, but go ahead.
Thank you for having me. My name's Alexandra. You can follow me on Instagram at XOACVXO. Thank you for having me.
Thanks again for having me. It's always a fun time here. All social media, Jen, Kay Comedy, Jen K Comedy. Come follow me. I'm a stand-up comic. Come out, laugh with us, have some fun.
I would love to.
Say thank you for having me. First time, had an awesome time. So thank you for having me. Hopefully we'll be back again. But I had an awesome time. Thank you.
Thank you for having me. My name is Sheena Reynolds, and my second page is Sheena Ray. If you want to see, because I have 2 Instagrams, TikTok Sheena Reynolds as well, Facebook Sheena Reynolds. Follow me, and that's it. Thank you for having me.
Thank you as well. Great to be back. You can follow me at Follow Jen Garcia. And you don't have to be an alpha. You don't have to be.
You have to be an alpha.
You just have to be American.
All right.